Everybody come in, everybody to the party. We're online, online, we're online. Step into the night where all the stars are bright. We're back again to do this, and we're gonna do it right. Something wild's in the air, I just know it. Now we're moving quicker, keeping on track. And once we hit the scene, there's no turning back. Gonna bring that feeling, gonna feel the heat. Online is in town and we can't be beat. We come alive, under the neon glow. It's the party of a lifetime. The signal's strong, can you feel it in the flow? It's the party of your lifetime. Now that you can see, there ain't no stopping me. The city's on 11, it's 2003. Something big is coming, but it's just the beginning. Just the beginning. Neon lights flicker, DJ spins the track. Boys are in sync and there's no turning back. Now that you're invested, we're turning up the heat. Everybody sing together on the 1, 2, 3. We come alive, under the neon glow. Everybody, it's the party of your lifetime. The signal's strong, can you feel it in the flow? It's the party of your lifetime. Floating higher as the stars align. Here on the edge of 1999. All systems on in this moment like you never join us, embrace us, don't ever erase us. 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 Stop! Online's in the house to bring the party of your lifetime. We come alive, moving under the neon glow. It's the party of your lifetime. The signal's strong, can you feel it in the flow? We've come to life, we've come to life on the floor. This feeling's what we came for. The beat is strong, we can feel it in the flow. It's the party of your lifetime. Party of your lifetime. The party of your lifetime. Everybody come in, everybody to the party. We're online, online, we're online. Step into the night where all the stars are bright. We're back again to do this, and we're gonna do it right. Something wild's in the air, I just know it. Now we're moving quicker, keeping on track. And once we hit the scene, there's no turning back. Gonna bring that feeling, gonna feel the heat. Online is in town and we
Back over. It's fine. Hi, chat. How we doing? You gotta move me? I joined the thing half an hour ago. Okay, maybe 20. A logo. Dogwave. Yeah, I agree. Oh my god. Wait, hold on. Sorry. Do you remember? No, you're not muted. Are you muted? I hear you. No, yeah, they're lying. Do you remember the sunscreen, like with the little girl and her underwear being tugged on by the dog? Imagine that, but Dog tugging on Occo. Oh, you don't hear Occo? Oh, that's on my end. Sorry. It's my end. Okay, hold on, chat. Sorry. There we go.
Gaslighting me, and I was about to say that my chat was very mean for doing that.
No, there we go. We're good. Sorry, chat.
I can't believe you, Temp. You are withholding your audience from listening to me. That is gross behavior.
It is. On TempKitsempt, Occo.
Anyway.
Temperament. Yes.
Anyway, excuse me. You caught me off guard there. I'm gonna read the super chats that came in before the stream started because it did meet the goal, and we very much appreciate that. So Lobert for I believe this is hold on. I'm not gonna use Streamlabs because Streamlabs doesn't keep all of them, and it really frustrates me that it doesn't do that. I think Lobert for all 10 of Lobert for like 8 or 9 of them. So Sly were for the 2. It just said just gave the 2. Lobert for the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 super chats where he says we shall extend the stream, prepare for Nightwave. And then he said a legend once said, if MommaOcco was a thirst trap, then consider me dehydrated. Well, thank you so much for the supers. And then Sly for the 2. Happy Easter, Nightwave. He is risen. Very accurate.
Yes.
Amen. He is risen. For sure. Anyway, thank you so much for the supers there in the beginning. Very much appreciated. I need to set a new goal now.
Did Temp describe himself as the copper tone dog with Occo as the girl? Yes.
Need to set a new goal. Just this will be a funsy one. Anyway, how was your week? I mean, you've technically been here a couple times.
It was good. It was busy. It was incredibly busy. Beginning of the week, I got a dishwasher installed. That took several hours. No, I was not. It was not actually on a job thing. I bought a dishwasher. Right? It's ours. Yeah, we bought a dishwasher.
Okay.
So we had to take the old broken one out and put the new one in, and that took a while.
Mm-hmm. What's wrong with Discord? We'll get to that.
We'll get to that.
We'll get to that.
Yeah. If you were to see our docket is stacked.
Yes. You should be able to stream screens now, and I'll be able to watch it finally.
Yay!
I have a new update chat for the internet. Because every single time we've done Dogwave, it has been an issue for like the past month, and so we're hoping that we're going to cross your chat. You guys got to cross your fingers, like really hard. Cross your fingers and hope and pray that the internet decides to be normal for once.
The only boon to Occo's internet shitting the bed is I can funnel everyone over to my stream, and then I could get more viewers.
I mean, technically, it has helped you grow your channel.
It has. Yeah. And for those who don't know, anyone who come in, I'll mention it probably later in the stream as well. We're getting really close to 500 subs on YouTube, which at 500 subs and some watch hours, we can hit affiliate.
You're pretty close.
We're getting pretty close to affiliate. And once we hit 500, I'm playing Resident Evil 7 at chat's request.
You are. Yeah. I'll be honest. I'm really happy because I think you're going faster than me. Which, I kind of like look at the way that I started, and I was kind of like the first one out of everybody to hit it, But because once one person like gets started on the train, once the train has already left the station, it's a lot easier for everybody else to catch up afterwards because the person that has people that they have brought with them, they can just share the audience, so to speak. So
Yep, absolutely.
share the audience. So you know,
But
it's I like to help. I like to think that I've helped some of my friends that are also streaming and Lucky grow just a little bit.
absolutely.
So that is nice. I love your little self promo there.
I see. I knew that would go to your chat. Chat. You should join the Discord. Follow me on YouTube. All other fun stuff. We're getting ever closer to 500, and once we have 500, then I can start making money off my content. And I don't mean you all paying me. While it's appreciated that you don't
no,
have
you
to.
need you only get super chats and memberships at 500. You get
No.
ad revenue at 1,000.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've told you that before.
Oh, well then when one ear and out the other. Okay, well then at 500 chat, I get your money. Maybe.
You know, he says one ear and out the other, and he gets upset at me for that.
Yeah, it's fine.
He gets upset at me for that. You see what I have to put up with? The dog isn't even paying attention to me. He's probably not even paying attention to me right now.
Chat, we have dogs with no bones. They just wiggle.
Dogs with no bones? That's very depressing.
But have you seen how they wiggle? They can't wiggle that way if they have bones.
Yeah, this is true. Ava, thank you for being a member for 7 months, and thank you for the 5 gifted memberships. Very much appreciated. Ava, by the way, I don't know if you saw, but she had her debut today. It was very fun.
Ava did have her debut today.
I didn't get to stick around for all of it because I was at work, but I did end up listening to the rest of it after work, and it was pretty nice.
It's different when Temp does it.
What do you mean it's different when Temp does it? What do you mean, chat?
I wasn't able to catch Ava's thing earlier either because I was at church when it happened.
You were at church?
Mm-hmm.
You were at Easter church?
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
Wiggle dogs
How
are
was that?
95% skins.
Pet worm, safe to have the string? Yes.
Some Shambler, thank you for the sub. I greatly appreciate it. Oh,
Anyway.
So chat, we got a big docket week.
We do. We do.
It got to a point when I had to ask Occo what we were talking about first this week.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see if I can pull up. Actually, before we do that, chat, this came across my feed literally like moments before stream started.
Here, you want to screen for me?
I'm going to.
Okay. Chat, we're this week I'm going to be showing screen and Vigigame, I think.
Oh my
god. Yippee for the yippies.
Here we go.
Yippee. Yippee. All right.
So, chat, does anyone see anything wrong with this picture?
Oh gosh, why is it not doing it? Hold on a moment. Where's the screen? Hold on. Why is my pop-out broken?
You missed restart the stream?
No, it's not you, it's me.
Also, I saw someone mention I have a girlfriend. No.
Oh, that's why.
I will totally be
That's
upfront.
why.
No, I don't.
Okay. Okay.
So,
I don't know how this is related to pop culture.
No. This is what I'm going to show you. I saw this as we were like in the countdown. And I was laughing about it.
Uh-huh.
But can you see what's wrong with this?
Where's Jill?
Oh, she's there. She's there.
Okay, what is wrong with this here?
Okay. So everyone is completely normal in, well, it's semi-formal outfits. Look at Biden.
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah. Wait a minute. Is that photoshopped? That can't. You're joking. That can't be real.
Yeah.
What does he look like? Dude, he's so totally photoshopped.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, he is.
Oh my gosh.
Is it that Hunter is not here and it absolutely is photoshopped? Where's the
Like-
dog? The dog is the other thing. Probably because there's a cat. There's no dog.
Oh my gosh, that is hilarious.
Like again, everything
Why did
looks
they
like
Photoshop him in?
I have a theory.
You,
I'm sure now that I've mentioned that I have a theory, you also might have the exact same theory.
what? That the Biden is dead?
Or on his deathbed.
That's possible.
I mean, he was
He's old
not
as
doing
fuck.
good. He hasn't been doing good for a while.
He's a wax statue who forgot to wake up. Oh my gosh.
I
Oh
didn't think
yeah,
it would...
like it took me a moment, but it's just like, wait, why is he in a suit when everybody else is just dressed like
See, that's the
normal?
thing. Is like, even if it's like casual, like formal, like you can see like
Yeah.
the collared shirts and it looks fine. But then he's just wearing, like, we've seen that suit in the White House.
Yeah.
Like,
Chat says to see if you can find the images with the image of him by scrolling through comments.
that's dangerous, but we'll see. Ah, yes.
That's beautiful.
I love the look of the baby behind him. It's like,
Yeah, that is pretty funny. Oh, hold on. That is beautiful right there. Oop.
Yeah,
Absolutely beautiful.
no
Not
Hunter.
gonna lie.
And
I'm surprised that nobody's pointed it out yet. That is hilarious.
And yeah, that's fair. I don't know who this
It
is.
looks out of place. It does look out of place. I don't know. That may be a family member of his.
It probably is. Either on his side or Jill's
Holy
side.
shit. Yeah.
Biden had a recent coherent speech, so I don't know. Well, that's the thing, Chad, is like someone could be completely coherent one day and not coherent the next.
Mm-hmm. Very accurate. Yeah. So it really is just a question of whether or not this is,
Like,
again, if this is photoshopped, I believe it. I
yeah,
100%
no,
would believe
it
it.
looks photoshopped. And in fact, what's funny about this is that's even why it's trending. Biden's Easter photo raises Photoshop speculation. People think it's photoshopped, and it looks photoshopped.
It does. Oh man, Biden, what are you doing, man?
Wake up, Sleepy Joe. Wake
Oh
up,
my
Samurai.
gosh.
Anyway.
Thank you for upgrading your membership, Sly. Very much appreciated. That is so bad.
But yeah, no, Chad, there's nothing in the comments about that, like, this. They actually, some people think it's the guy in front who's photoshopped, and I everything looks normal, like an actual family photo, except for Biden.
Yeah, it really does. Like the Biden is the weirdest part of that family photo there.
Yeah,
I mean, not trying to be mean to the guy, but he's weird without the family photo.
Yeah.
In general.
Yeah, he honestly makes it worse.
Yeah. I don't really got much else to say about
Anyway.
that. Oh man, that is so crazy.
Okay.
That is just insano style in my personal opinion.
So,
Wow.
how do we get people more upset? Chat, how upset do you want to be? On a scale of
gosh.
1 to 10, how upset do you want to be?
Chat say 1 billion. Say
Because there's
1
two things
bajillion,
here
chat.
that can make people incredibly upset.
I'm sure. I am sure.
One of them is the Nintendo stuff, which I did go over in a stream. I think it was Friday. I went over it.
Oh yeah, the Nintendo stuff is definitely gonna piss some people off.
And
I'll tell you what, chat. The Nintendo stuff is. I think I've solidified my point when I say I'm not going to buy a Switch 2. It's more likely than not just going to be I'm going to wait or probably not. But
That's
yeah,
fair.
I think that
Alright.
we should go with. I think we should go with that. I feel like that'll work.
Okay.
That works
Well,
out.
we're gonna do this real quick.
All right.
I know it's not Nintendo, but we're gonna do this real quick.
No, you're good. You're good. You're good. Oh, what the fuck?
So, Ubisoft, the only way I can uninstall this trash game from my PC is if I re-up on Ubisoft Plus. This is scummy, but I shouldn't be surprised since it is Ubisoft. Oh wait, let me, actually I gotta turn on the audio. This, hold on, shit. There we go.
So
This
let
is
me
Kaida.
get this straight, Ubisoft.
I don't know who that is.
I no longer have Ubisoft Connect Plus, right? I used the 1 month trial and it's over. But there's an update for the game that I can't do because I don't have it. I'm trying to uninstall the game because I don't want to play it anymore. But I can't uninstall the game because it's saying some of the files cannot be deleted because of the update. So the only way to uninstall this game from my PC is to re-up on what is it? Ubisoft Connect. Sorry, I had a brain fart. To re-up on Ubisoft Connect. This is
No
fucking
way.
stupid. So let me get
Yeah! Yeah!
I seem to remember when, and this isn't a Ubisoft thing, but I seem to remember when I tried to uninstall PSO2
Mhm.
back when it had the Microsoft launch, and it partitioned parts of my computer, and you had to go in there
Yeah,
and dig in order
That
to
was
delete
several hours of work in your computer when they did
I'm
that.
sure it was. So I imagine that, and by the way, Kaida's from New Black Street, a show that Lumi frequents a little bit.
Oh, okay.
I imagine that Kaida would have to get somebody that is able to dig into the computer and personally delete those files by ripping them from
Yeah,
the hard
you'd have to
drive.
manually remove it. It's very possible, but yeah.
And here's the
Ubisoft, this is
Here's the
disgusting.
sucky thing. Here's the sucky thing. That is not something a lot of people know how to do. I
Mhm.
don't even know how to do that. I mean, like, I know how to go into my Steam folder and delete files from there, but like, there's deeper things that you have to do for some of these things where it's just like, we can't delete these files. You need to get permission to delete them. And it's just like, bro, I am the permission.
Yeah, no, exactly.
And you had to delete shit for me. Oh my gosh.
Mhm.
What the fuck? Jordan, thank you for the 5. For what it's worth, you're better off getting a Steam Deck and sailing the 7 seas when it comes to Nintendo games. That's what I'm trying to get Temp to do. Temp will get to eventually, I'm pretty sure.
No, I
He's
will.
been pretty busy this week.
I've been incredible. Like, Akko's been messaging me on and off saying, like, hey, I hope you're okay. I know you've been busy. I'm just checking in.
Yeah, I want Temp to check some files for Koikatsu Party so that I can download a modded version so that I can play around with this new model that a fan has made for me. And I just like, can you do it today? And he's like, I'll do it today. And then he's like,
It
I'm
might
sorry,
not
I
get
was
done today,
busy.
by the way.
I kind of figured it wouldn't get done today. What about tomorrow?
I don't know. We'll see. Anyway,
Oh, no.
yeah. Let's go into the other thing that's making people rather upset.
Yes.
So I went into this in more detail on my stream on Friday, and I'm going to bring up some other examples here to go along with it. The same examples I gave on my stream, so those who weren't here, or those who were on my stream on Friday, will know what I'm talking about when it comes to this. Okay. Anyway, Nintendo ups when the pre-order dates for Switch 2 is happening. Basically, pre-orders for Switch 2 will begin on Thursday, April 24th at midnight. It's not stated here, but it is going to be at midnight. So if I know not many people here are going to want to go buy a Switch 2, but if you had any interest in it, midnight, which means basically be at like whatever website you want to be at to pre-order it, Wednesday at like 11 p.m. That way you can at least, make sure the site's working.
Yep.
Anyway, at launch, the price for Switch 2 in the US will remain as announced on April 2nd at $499.99. And the Switch 2 plus Mario Kart World Bundle will remain as announced at $499.99. Pricing of both physical and digital versions of Mario Kart World and Donkey Kong will also remain unchanged at launch. So, the console and the games don't change price. Fine.
I'm surprised that it's only $70 Donkey Kong, but I'm happy at least it's not 80.
I'm guessing I've kind of kept this same thought process around for Mario Kart. Is it feels very much in a similar situation like Tears of the Kingdom,
Mm-hmm.
where it's like it's only 80 because of just how big it is.
Yeah.
Anyway, however, Switch 2 accessories will experience price adjustments from those announced on April 2nd due to changes in market conditions. Other adjustments to the price of any Nintendo products are also possible in the future, depending on market conditions. So they're flat out even saying here that like the Switch 2 and the games could even go up in price, which is
So I believe. Sorry, go ahead.
which is disgusting.
So I believe that the reason why the accessories are going to go up in specific is because those are probably made in China.
Yep.
And right now China is still got those tariffs on it of like what 300%.
Yeah. Yeah, that's about what I'm guessing too. His games are made in Japan, obviously. And
No, I think they're made in Taiwan or something like that.
well, no,
they're not.
Not all of them.
They're not made in China specifically.
No.
I know they did that to get ahead of the tariffs.
Yep. But they did announce what is getting a price increase. So the the Pro Controller is going to be $85. Ew. The Joy-Con 2s are going to be $95. I would love to
$5 more.
I would love to point out, chat, neither of them have Hall effect sticks.
So they're still prone to drifting.
Yep.
Yep.
Still prone to drifting. The charging grip is going to be $40. The straps are going to be $14. The wheel set is going to be $25. The camera is going to be $55.
I'm surprised that the camera is so cheap.
Yeah, I kind of am
I
too.
expected it to be over $100.
Mm-hmm. The dock set is $120. And I even pointed out on my stream that you could buy two $60 games, not including tax, for what it costs to buy the dock.
The when you buy just the Switch by itself, it comes with a dock, right?
Yes, it comes with the Joy-Cons, the strap, the dock. Yeah,
Thank
so
God.
yeah. The carrying case and screen protector is $40. The all-in-one carrying case is going to be $85. The adapter, the charging brick, is going to be $35.
It better be a very premium charging brick.
And the Nintendo branded micro SD express cards at 256 gigabytes is $60.
Oh man, Nintendo really has just become like the Apple. I mean, like all game consoles these days are just really expensive. Like legitimately. All of them are just extremely expensive, and I'm looking at this just like Steam Deck, anybody or a computer. You can still technically stream with the Steam Deck. That's the cool thing. If you get the dock for it, like
Yeah.
plug it in. You know, I kind of would. I'm more wanting to buy a dock for the Steam Deck so that I could stream on the Steam Deck on my computer, rather than I feel like that would work a lot better. Like once you get those emulators set up for me, I think that's what I'm gonna do.
So
I'll buy the dock for it.
again, for those who want to my stream, I did go over some alternatives to some of Nintendo's bullshit here to prove I'm not a Nintendo simp, chat.
See, chat, now Temp wants to make sure that he proves to you that he's not the simp that you keep saying that he is.
So, first and foremost, it is $70. But the Satisfy Zen Grip 2 bundle is a carrying case, someplace you can put your game cartridges, a separate bag entirely in it, or separate like holdings bit, and a grip that goes on it. So if you're not like, you don't like how the Switch feels just by itself,
Yeah.
you could just get a grip for it, and that's all included for $70. So instead of paying between $40 and $85, you can have a place to store your games, store your console and have a ability to hold it better.
Yeah.
And then the 8-bit do controllers. I don't remember. Do you have one of these?
I do.
Okay.
I do.
What do you think of it?
It is nice. I use it mine for my Switch. I'm pretty sure I can use it for my computer if I
Yes,
really
you
wanted
can.
to. I've only used it for my Switch so far, and I really like it. It's a really nice, good Pro controller. For some reason, when I first got it, the Switch wouldn't recognize, or some of the games wouldn't recognize it when I put it in. Like, I want to say I couldn't play Breath of the Wild with it.
That's weird.
But like yeah, it is very weird. But it is a really good alternative to just a Pro controller, and I imagine it's not that much more expensive, or it's less expensive.
So at the very bottom, I think, or I had to go to the shop.
Don't they make it easier to mod this thing as well? Like put different stuff on it? Oh yeah, it's like $10 cheaper.
Yeah. So here's the interesting thing about this, chat. You can use the 8-bit do Ultimate 2 controller either with USB or USB wireless. Wired, I believe. Hold on. Yeah, you can use it wired and
Let me test
Bluetooth.
mine off.
And it has a charging dock, and it has Hall effect sticks for $70. And you can use it on other consoles. So Switch, PlayStation,
So it's not.
Xbox,
It can't
PC.
drift then.
It can. It's just more unlikely. So what I'm saying is you could pay $70 for Hall effect sticks, the ability to use it on multiple different platforms, and you're not giving Nintendo $85. You're instead
Right.
paying $70 for a all-around better controller.
Right. It does feel. I will say, Chad, as somebody who bought one, because I remember when one of my old Pro controllers, not like an off-brand one, like started drifting. I was like, Temp, I need something that actually works, and he suggested this, and it pretty much does its job pretty well. So I'm kind of happy with that.
And the version I'm showing here is actually the more up-to-date one. The one you and I have are the previous generation of these.
Really?
Yes.
I was wondering why it looks slightly better. This one actually has lights in the background.
has
of the
RGB in it,
control
yeah.
sticks. I was
It
like,
also,
why doesn't mine look that
it
cool?
also has more buttons. So like you have some extra buttons where the triggers are.
Uh-huh.
And I believe it has back buttons. Oh no, the basic one also has those. Sorry, never mind.
Well, the basic one has back buttons too.
So it has a lot of features for the cheaper price. The only difference, and this is what's gonna make people want to buy the Pro controller over this, is it doesn't have the ability to do amiibo support. But I think that is a worthy sacrifice.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't care.
No, it does have motion controls. It does have motion controls. But that's only for Switch. So again, the only thing you're not getting out of this is amiibo support. But counter argument to that, the Joy-Cons will have that. So you don't need to go buy a Pro controller if you have the basic Switch or Switch 2 with the Joy-Cons.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying, this does the job. Fantastic, much cheaper, and I'd rather support a company like 8-bit do because they're actively trying to innovate and make a good product instead of Nintendo, who are I'm going to say resting on their laurels at this point.
They kind of are, unfortunately. It is kind of reached the point where Nintendo is. I don't know if it's right for me to say that they're just kind of expecting everybody to buy whatever it is they pump out.
Mhm.
But that is just kind of how it feels at this point. So maybe we need to have a point where they recognize that some people just aren't going to buy everything that Nintendo puts out. I'm pretty sure we've had periods of that before, and I feel like maybe we just need to have another period of that where Nintendo realizes that people aren't just going to buy
Mhm.
what is put out there unless it actually feels like it's worth it. And right now, not every single bit of this that I'm seeing feels exactly worth it.
Exactly.
Sorry
And
to say.
this one's gonna be a little more expensive, but it's gonna be also a little more premium. The SanDisk Extreme Plus. For those who don't know, because you might also have one of these, if you have any Extreme or Extreme Plus, that also counts as a micro SD express card. So
Okay.
if you bought one of these, say for your Steam Deck, and you wanted to buy a Switch 2, but you don't want to go buy more SD cards, if you have one of these lying around, that will work. And it's $60 for a 256 gig or 140, not on sale, because these go on sale way more often, for a 1
Jeez.
terabyte.
Oh,
I'm just saying, there are ways to get around Nintendo's greed.
I will also say, this stuff is expensive now because it's brand new. When the
Mhm.
next generation of this kind of stuff comes out, it will not be as expensive. Like, the thing with storage space that I've learned is it's only expensive until it's no longer expensive. So this stuff will only be expensive for a little while, and then it will
Yep.
stop being expensive in the distant future.
Exactly. And you also have Black Friday sales. You have your tax return sales. You have so many other sales for the off-brand stuff. Like Satisfy will do sales eventually. Baidu will do sales. If not through their website, then through Amazon. And then and if you have Amazon as well, SD cards go on sale frequently.
Yeah. I'll get a Switch 2 in a few years. I'm thinking, like, so here's what I did, chat, is when I was a missionary, when I came home, I bought a Switch 2 after I got a couple
Switch
paychecks from
1.
work or whatever. But I bought a Switch after I came home from being a missionary, and I know it was still similar in pricing,
Yep.
but it still didn't feel like as bad. I felt like it had more quality to it because I had not only had I didn't really have a choice, I did have to wait. So I had come home and had gotten one. So I feel like the Switch will probably age a little bit better in a couple of years, and
Mhm.
people may or may not like agree with me on that. But I just feel like right now buying a Switch 2 is, I don't know. I just look at how Nintendo is treating people, and I'm like, I don't know if I can support buying one right now. I just don't feel like the price is. I mean, like, could I afford it? Yeah, I'd have to do a little bit more Uber, but I could afford one right
Mhm.
now. But I feel like at that point, it's just like I don't feel really interested in it, if that
No,
makes
yeah.
sense.
I'm still buying one because I can make content off of it. I can talk about it. I can make videos about it. I can shit on Nintendo with even after buying it.
Yeah.
And that will go towards the growth of my channel, which is great. And
Yeah.
it will and I also, chat, and I know some people will be like, well, why would you buy a Switch 2? Chat, I have a Generation 1 Switch. Oh, sorry, maybe not Generation 1, but more like the first refresh.
You were one of the very first people to get a Switch.
Yeah,
I was like a year or two into the Switch's life.
Well, I bought mine in the year 2.
Okay. But I bought mine like a year or two after it came out. So it was
Yeah.
already a year or two after some initial fixing had been done to the Switch, and the next generation of the Switch ones was out.
Exactly. And I never bought an OLED. So this,
Same.
no matter what, will just be a raw upgrade. And it will still play my Switch 1 games. So I don't see a problem here for my use case.
Yeah. For me, it's just like I would much rather get you to help me get the Steam Deck set up, which you're gonna do. So,
Yeah, we're gonna do.
you know.
And there's a benefit, there's a boon to me doing this.
Uh-huh.
It's usually the first generation of these consoles, specifically like we'll use Switch as the best case example, is I would be able to jailbreak it. Because
yeah.
which means technically I could get you the games if I bought them myself.
Oh boy.
I probably wouldn't do that until we got the first like refresh, like an OLED Switch 2.
Mm-hmm.
But the point stands is if I get a year 1 release of a Switch 2, it is more likely to be allowed to be jailbroken.
Because Nintendo isn't able to
Exactly.
stop you. I don't really understand how you're able.
No,
how it's more
because
likely.
they didn't go through all the different design flaws.
I see. I think. I think.
No, so chat, my Switch 2 is not able to be jailbroken the same way as like day one Switches are. Because
they
mine
had
was
probably already put in a bunch of security patches that would keep you from doing that.
yeah, and design patches.
Whereas a day one, there's going to be security flaws.
Exactly. So anyone who's going to be emulating or wanting to emulate with this will need a day one that they can jailbreak.
Mhm.
So there are reasons to get a Switch 1 or Switch 2 on day one if you're wanting to do like emulation or as a raw upgrade. You know, there's a lot of good reasons for it. I understand why people don't want to. And a lot of these prices here is a damn good reason not to.
Yeah, no, it's a very good reason in my personal opinion, which is again why I am personally not going to touch the Switch on day one. I would much rather, again, either have the Steam Deck or invest in some, because playing video games isn't the main facet of my channel. It's like a very huge secondary. I would much rather invest my money right now into what I'm investing my money into right now,
exactly,
which is getting a model for VR chat, so I can do stuff in VR chat.
Exactly. Like my content focus is games, so this makes sense for me. But in the case of Occo, does it make sense for Occo? Not necessarily.
Yeah, pretty much.
Was that a lot of like equal information? And please don't hate me for buying a Switch 2. Yes.
I feel like you saying that you're going to jailbreak it day one, people are going to come to you immediately and say,
no,
hey,
I am not going to jailbreak it day one.
Well, probably not day one, but you're going to get people within like the first months coming up to you just being like, hey, do you have the stuff?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And I'm going to say no.
You're going to get people, that are curious.
I'm not going to be doing that until we have our first like proper like refresh.
Mm-hmm. Be a perfect time for Xbox or PS to try and release their handheld. You know, that could, funny enough, go into the next topic here. Before we do, it can. I want to read some of these supers just really quickly here. Wolfsbane for 2 says that Ubisoft thing sounds a lot like Adobe Actions. This is very accurate. Yeah. I mean, again, like one of the problems that I have with game publishers today, or really just computer companies today, again, Microsoft, really funny example, is sometimes they will partition data that you cannot remove from your device, and it really is going to take a super mega hacker like Temp to come and remove that kind of shit so that you can actually get it off of there and have a normal system. And that it really fucking sucks to have that be the case, because most people aren't going to be able to remove that. Most people are just going to be stuck with it forever. So I really hate that. I have heard horror stories of people that like get their hard drives filled up with space because they accidentally put too much shit on it.
Yeah.
And they don't know, they can't get it removed because it's like bloatware and shit. But yeah, it sucks. Magma for 5. So The Last of Us 2 got to that part in the show finally. Oh boy. I imagine that it will freak out quite a lot of people that are normies that have not actually played the games or know what's coming. So that should be very, very interesting. Tempest Super 1337 Haxor. I think that's Elite Haxor, yes. And then Wolfsbane for 2. Wow, and here I thought Sony was the Apple of gaming.
No, I would say Sony is.
I would say that kind of all of them are, but I would say that Nintendo is doing a very good job at trying to take their spot.
Nintendo is inching ever closer.
Yeah.
But I don't think they'll be able to dethrone Sony.
Probably not. Probably not. Anyway, speaking of Sony, we can move on to Sony now.
So apparently the PS6 was leaked.
Yes.
We don't know quite all the details about it. But one of the details is that they're going to try and pull a Nintendo. And I do mean old Nintendo, where they had like, oh, here's the Game Boy, and then here's the GameCube, and then or like the 3DS and the Wii U.
Please tell me that this is a fake image.
Well, no, this image right here is the cloud device.
the cloud device.
This is their portal. This is the PlayStation Portal. But it's there because it is a handheld, technically.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, the PlayStation 6 console generation will include a standard console and a portable one, according to leaks. I'm not surprised about this, considering the handheld market has skyrocketed the last couple of years.
Yep.
To the point, like, Valve kickstarted the... No. Well, Nintendo kickstarted it with the Switch.
Switch did. And then Valve decided, hey, I'm going to drink your beer.
Exactly. And then Valve is kind of like the true Kickstarter for like everyone else, because we had Asus, we had Lenovo, and there's been other handheld PCs as well, but
yeah,
like in years prior. But the Steam Deck truly kicked it off, and then Sony tried entering the game with the PlayStation Portal, but the Portal is only cloud based, which is like,
How does that work? That basically means that you can play games, but you have to connect to your PS5 in order for it to work.
And on internet. You can play out of the house, but you have to be on internet. And you have to have a stable internet because it's cloud-based.
That's dumb.
It is very dumb. But anyway, so they say the release time, or release like window for this is probably going to be like late 2027 to 2028, which lines up for about like 7 to 8 years. So that would be the next generation for Sony and maybe Xbox if Microsoft tries to go for a next Xbox. We'll see if they do or not. But portable PS6 will be less powerful than a PS5. That's not surprising. They're not saying...
Not surprising whatsoever.
They're not saying less powerful than a PS4. They're saying less powerful than a PS5. I could see them doing a middle ground. Because at that period of time, like the 2027, 2028, their technology is going to have progressed enough to the point where handhelds can encroach along like PS4 Pro, or even like the in-between point of PS4 Pro and PS5.
Yeah. They learned nothing from Stadia? No, obviously they did not, chat.
No, they didn't. And portable console will likely launch after the main one. That's also not surprising. Because they want people to buy the actual consoles and not just the handheld ones.
Are people even going to actually do that, though?
Yes. And that's why I mentioned Apple. People will eat up anything Nintendo makes. People will eat up anything Sony makes, no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
It does not matter if the PS6 is exclusively a Last of Us machine. They will still buy it. They will still play it. It does not matter.
Yeah. I'm genuinely curious to see what games they would come out with this new console. Like, what is
I'm going to go
there?
with several Last of Us games or several Last of Us remasters. And that is
Remaster 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah. Like, and this is all we have for this, but I do think it's kind of cool to see Sony try and enter back into the handheld space, because Sony, when they were doing proper handhelds, they were kicking the shit out of Nintendo.
Yeah.
Like the PSP and the PS Vita both kicked ass.
And then they stopped doing it.
And then they stopped doing
godly reason.
Yeah. So,
and it's not really ever been the same for them.
Exactly. So maybe, knock on wood, like Sony trying to re-enter the handheld space would be a resurgence for them.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see.
Indeed, we will definitely see. I don't know. I really feel like the future of video games is computers only.
Oh, yeah.
There's a reason why all consoles, minus Nintendo, is kind of just moved on to computers, and that's because computers are really where it's at.
Yep.
I feel like we're going to see a future where game devs are asked to cater towards computers, and consoles are going to be an afterthought.
Mm-hmm. The problem with the Vita was the SD cards, so like their memory storage.
Hmm.
If it wasn't for how they did the SD cards for Vita, I think Vita would have lasted a lot longer.
Oh yeah, 100%. I think the Vita is like technology that they should reinvest in.
Mm.
I don't think they will, but I think it's something that they should reinvest in.
Like as someone
Also,
that
yeah,
used the
this is-
Vita, like that was so good.
Oh, 100% it was. I didn't
Like-
really get one, but I had family members that did, so I had secondhand experience with it, and yeah, it was a pretty good console.
It felt good in your hands, and the games that were on it was good. Like I would honestly call the Vita like the prelude to the Steam Deck. Like it's just how good it was.
A smaller, less powerful, more retarded Steam Deck, but yes.
Pretty much. Okay, so we're gonna get minorly political. Minorly.
Uh-oh. That's dangerous.
Chat, who heard about Haley Joel Osment and what's going on with him?
Who's she again?
He.
Who's he again?
He's the voice of Sora in Kingdom Hearts.
Oh, okay.
Have you ever
Okay.
seen Secondhand Lions?
I have not.
Okay. Did you ever see The Sixth Sense, the Bruce Willis one where the kid says he can see dead people?
Yes. Well, I
That's-
haven't seen it, but I know that scene.
Yeah, that's him. That's Haley Joel Osment.
Okay.
So I want to add some context that his house in LA was burnt down during the fire. And he's been going through some family issues. He's had some other problems. And I know this article starts off saying Haley Joel Osment apologized for calling officer an anti-Semitic slur after arrest at ski resort.
Mm-hmm.
But this all started because he was arrested at a ski resort in California, drunk. It was a DUI. He had problems a few years prior, I think back in 2006, with drinking.
Mm-hmm.
He got straight. He had to do like probation and other stuff, and he turned his life around. Because he got drunk. He was doing that because he was having like a really bad time at that point.
Yep. This guy was having a bit of a sucky time, not gonna lie.
And I'm gonna glow here, chat. He was a kid in Hollywood.
Okay. I feel like this is way too much preamble just to say this guy made an accidental anti-Semitic slur.
So, Haley Joel Osment says he has no excuse for calling a law enforcement official a slur for Jewish people after his recent arrest at a popular California ski resort.
Wait, which one was it?
I don't know. I don't think the article will go
Was it
into.
the one that rhymes with bike?
Oh wait, he actually goes into it saying down here. Anyway, the former Sixth Sense star, child star, and brother of actor Emily Osment apologized for using this disgusting word. In a statement shared with multiple outlets, the 37-year-old Blink Twice actor shared his statement hours after police body cam footage of his interaction with the law officer surfaced. Do we have that? I'm afraid of playing that. Not because I think it's... we'll see. I'm absolutely horrified by my behavior. Had I known I used this disgraceful language in the throes of a blackout, I would have spoken up sooner, Osment said in a statement shared by People and TMZ. The past few months of loss and displacement have broken me down to a very low emotional place. And that's not surprising with the fires and other problems. And, I
A
get
whole
it.
bunch of people in Hollywood lost their houses, chat.
Yeah. Oh, boy. Osment can be heard in the police footage chiding an officer from the back of a patrol car. I've been kidnapped by an effing Nazi, he said, before telling the officer, you'll wish you treated me nicer. Osment later hurls the anti-Semitic slur, which was bleeped out in the video, at the officer and begins laughing. You're going to regret this, Osment later.
Which one?
Said here. Oh, yeah, alleged cocaine, too. Oh, boy. Just...
Can we play it? I kind of want to watch it. I bet chat would want to watch it too.
It is loading. If it can play it, I
Ah.
will. Oh, wait. Here.
Okay, here we go. Oh, this is TMZ. Fuck.
Yeah, I don't like it either, but...
I mean, it's body cam footage.
We were very nice and calm.
Okay, police department, you're being detained. There we go. What's your name, brother? What's your name? You're being detained. Okay?
Oh, this poor man.
My suggestion would be to stop resisting because it's an additional charge. You got this on? Yeah, I got this on. What's your name? Okay, go ahead. Your name is...
I can't hear it.
No, I can't hear it either. Is that Chumley from Prawn Stars?
Yeah, I'm gonna work on it. Relax, police department. I've already told you that. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah, sorry, we were concerned about his health. We didn't want to escalate it, but he couldn't take care of himself.
Yeah, walk out. No, of course. I'm assuming he's here with somebody. He's trying to call an Uber. Okay. I gotta go talk to Jenny.
So he went to the bar, ordered one drink, and was so intoxicated
Everyone be careful, there's something in there.
that he couldn't, he spilled his drink,
Leave it close.
and then he got cut off.
Fold it in your glove.
Oh gosh. That is probably cocaine.
Yep.
They served him one drink. He was so drunk he spilled it.
I'm going to transfer it over and then I will take the money and book it. So let's do this because you think there might be something in that. I think there's cocaine in it. Take all the property.
24 Sam 1101, do you want to return or just attach?
Good luck.
Chumley has died from a fent overdose. That is true. He did die from a fent overdose. Very unfortunately.
What was even?
I didn't see it.
I didn't
like,
see it.
legitimately, what I didn't see it.
And the K
Okay, so
word.
it says here. He said, okay, yeah, it is the one that rhymes with the word bike.
Okay. Anyway,
Okay.
you're aware of this.
That
It was
it?
the actor who later expressed regret for the incident. From the bottom of my heart, I apologize to absolutely everyone that this hurts. From what came out of my mouth was nonsensical garbage. I've let the Jewish community down. It devastates me. Oh boy. Anyway, he added, I don't ask for anyone's forgiveness, but I promise to atone for my terrible mistake. He actually did go in front of the judge and pled guilty.
Oh. He pled guilty.
He pled guilty.
Oh boy, I wonder what his lawyer said to him.
His arraignment, as far as I've heard, is in July. I'm gonna guess it's gonna be a probation.
Is this his first time having issues?
This is his first time since 06 having issues.
Well, if
So,
it's not his first time, he probably won't.
It's
I
not
don't
his
know, I
first
guess it
time.
depends.
The difference is how long it's been. Because
Yeah.
next year will be 20 years. Like, if it was a repeated offender, we'll see. But because this is, as far
Be a
as
little
we
bit
are
different.
aware, his second time, and it's been so long, you know, we'll see.
Yeah. We shall see. Shit.
What's funny is some people think this is gonna be a problem for Kingdom Hearts.
No, if I'm pretty sure Kingdom Hearts already has all of its lines done.
I feel pretty certain about that too. I think Kingdom Hearts is probably like really close to probably. I'm gonna say probably next year.
Yeah, probably.
I think 2026 is when we're gonna see Kingdom Hearts 4.
I mean, we haven't gotten any
And
information yet, have we?
no, and with the last time he was arraigned, or like the last time he had any of the problems was 06, and he had already, I think, Kingdom Hearts 2 and other games have happened since then, and Square kept working with him. So I don't think it's going to be much of a problem. I think if anything, they'll use an excuse of recasting him as like, we do want to get someone maybe a little bit younger, like a younger sounding voice. Because he is almost 40.
Yeah.
And he's been playing Sora since he was a kid. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens with this. I don't think much is gonna be go over it. He was charged with disorderly conduct and possession of cocaine. We're not 100. Again, that I'm not gonna say the cocaine was planted because I don't think it was by the police. If it was, it wasn't by the police. It could have very well been someone there at the ski resort.
Did he claim that he had it? If he said he pled guilty of the cocaine, then he had it.
As far as I'm aware, he's not. I don't know if he pled to that.
I mean, if he pled guilty, he probably knew that there was cocaine there, and he probably
yeah.
Listen, if he pled guilty, he probably pled guilty to that as well.
I should send this to Ava.
Yeah, you should.
Because
Good
it's
idea.
definitely up her alley.
Yeah, I agree.
Kingdom Hearts is dog shit. Kingdom Hearts is okay. I'm going to play devil's advocate and say Kingdom Hearts is good because Tetsuya Nomura constantly tells Disney to shove it where the sun don't shine.
Mm-hmm.
Like he constantly gets into fights with Disney, and I love it. So
the cops look shocked and unprepared. Well, okay, yeah, most people probably are unprepared to find cocaine.
mm-hmm.
I know that when I was a security guard,
up his nose.
I know that. I know when I was a security guard, I definitely was very surprised on occasion. So
yeah,
I'm sure that they were surprised too.
Mm-hmm. So I don't know. We'll see what happens here. I don't think much is going to happen. I think he's going to go back on probation. I think he's going to have a few other things happen to him, but I don't think he's going to prison. I don't think he's going to jail.
No, probably not.
Like this is very minor, especially when you compare to people like what's his face? The guy who was playing Kang in the MCU.
Oh, I know who you're talking about, the black guy.
Yeah.
And then he got into a lot of trouble and then they just forgot that he existed.
Exactly. I don't think it's gonna be like that.
Yeah.
Because
unfortunately, that guy is just
he took a
yeeted.
long time to admit to his problems, and this guy was like near immediate. Like he
Yeah, but here's the
recognized.
thing. Admitting to something immediately doesn't make it easier on you.
No, it doesn't. But he's not fighting it in a sense.
And I do think that does help out because courts can look on you sympathetically. I just don't feel like that will necessarily I don't know. I just don't feel like it'll help out that much.
Mm-hmm. My problem with Kingdom Hearts is the plot is everywhere. Also, forgiving the villain at the end. Kingdom Hearts 3 had problems. And my tinfoil hat theory is the reason it had problems is because Disney has a problem of when they touch something, it doesn't turn to gold, it turns to shit.
Yeah.
And you'll notice that there's way more Disney stuff in Kingdom Hearts 3 than there was Final Fantasy stuff. And I think that definitely comes down to a lot of the the problems with 3. I think 3 played very well. But as far as its story, it felt more all over the place because it didn't have that connective tissue to the first 2 games. And I don't mean the spin-offs, I just mean 1 and 2.
Persona 5 is overrated? Well, I'm playing Persona 4, chat, because I've never played it before.
Anyway,
that's an interesting little story there.
Yeah.
We'll see how he is we're not charged. What is
It's the Eiger touch, exactly. And this is one of those things where I was saying that Tetsuya Nomura, because when it comes to the story of 3, something a lot of people don't know is when it came to the Monsters Inc. and Toy Story worlds in Kingdom Hearts 3, Nomura actually wanted the Toy Story world for years in other games prior, and Disney constantly told him no. And he kept that up with 3, and he wanted to have the Toy Story world. But Disney said, no, I want a Monsters Inc. world. Give us that. And he's like, well, you're not going to get that unless I get what I want, which is a Toy Story world. So he finally, he backhanded the mouse, which is good.
His face looks fake.
And the reason why I'm less concerned about Nomura also wanted 15 to be musical. Nomura is not always a genius. Nomura has problems, but he has his good bits.
Yeah.
Case in point, it's not confirmed yet because Square refuses to talk about Kingdom Hearts. But Square, as far as we are aware, Star Wars is playing a bit or a point in Kingdom Hearts 4. We're like 99% certain that Star Wars is going to be in Kingdom Hearts 4.
Mm-hmm.
But specifically what we saw was the Forest of Endor. And anyone who's paid attention to Tetsuya Nomura, he is a big Star Wars fan. Specifically, George Lucas Star Wars.
Well, that's good.
So, I think
Darth...
Sora versus Darth Vader
Oh.
is very possible.
You know, so I know that Goofy and Donald, like, they kind of like take on skins of characters from the games.
Mhm.
I feel like it would be C-3PO and R2-D2.
Oh, absolutely. Or at least an astromech and a cortical droid.
Yeah.
On that note, chat, since we're talking about Star Wars, might as well.
We can bring up the Star Wars Celebration stuff.
Yeah, chat, we're going to talk Star Wars Celebration. So
I've
Star
been to
Wars
Celebration once. It's fun.
Yeah, so this time was in Japan. So Star Wars Celebration 2025 is here, and this is on the official Star Wars website. We have all the news you need to know. You can make it Tokyo, don't worry. So they announced that the next celebration is in 2027 in April 1 through 4th. 1st through 4th. And
So this was like a couple weeks ago.
this was like this week. This was like
April
2 or
20th.
3. No. This date is in LA 2027.
Oh, this is for 2027. Oh, okay.
This just happened in Japan. Like over
Right.
this
They
same
have
over
it
this
every
week.
2 years. Every 2 years is something a little bit different.
Yes.
Right. There's the one that's every 4 years, and then the one that's every other 2 years after that one.
Yes. So yeah, it's either
Right.
April 20th. So this was posted today.
This was today.
They announced Visions Season 3.
Which is going to have Trigger in it again, it looks like.
Yeah, Studio Trigger and Wit Studio. Was pretty good.
Mhm.
They announced a Vision specific project. I don't know what this one is specifically from. I haven't watched Star Wars Visions in a while.
Neither have I, unfortunately.
The new book, I think, I don't know. Galaxy's Edge updates, whatever, fine. Fortnite collaboration, okay, fine.
We don't care about the fan spotlights.
We don't care about the fan spotlights. The cast of Andor, can't wait for you to watch the 3-episode season 2 premiere. Did Andor season 2
3
start?
episodes. Holy shit.
Yeah. So I've heard Andor is actually pretty good. It's
Wow.
just
Yeah, you told me that it's all right.
I haven't watched
I've
any
not
of
seen it
Andor.
though.
Find out 5 secrets about Ahsoka directly from this. Speaking of Ahsoka, actually we'll go into that a little bit. Star Wars Zero Company was announced. We'll go into that right now. Zero Company.
This is like your
is-
big thing.
This is my big thing. This is the thing I'm most excited about.
Uh-huh.
Zero Company is by former devs of XCOM who left Firaxis and went and started their own studio. Still under EA, but it is a different studio. It is being done by BitReactor and Respawn. So XCOM and Titanfall devs specifically.
Yep.
Or Apex Legends. Basically, this is going to be basically XCOM Star Wars.
I imagine a lot of people are going to be pretty happy about that, as long as they don't cock up the story. I'm looking at these pictures here, and even though I don't like strategy games, I feel like a lot of people are going to like this.
Exactly. XCOM with space wizards. Exactly. And
Although it looks like it's XCOM with clones, isn't it?
so that is the fun thing about this. Zero Company is set during the Clone Wars era.
So one of the eras that people really liked.
So a lot of Star Wars stuff, especially lately, has been focusing on the original trilogy era. But this is set during the prequel trilogy era, which I think is pretty neat. I wish that maybe they would have gone back a little bit more to like Old Republic, but the idea behind this is it's a shadow group, kind of like how we have like Anakin's group of clones and Obi-Wan's group of clones and everything. This is like a very like shadowy organization within the Republic that does more like dirty stuff, like assassinations and you know, like the stuff that the higher ups wouldn't want to do, the stuff they don't know about, the stuff they don't want to know about, they don't want to, you know. Case in point.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
We were told about several characters. We don't know the names, but like as far as like races are concerned, I remember someone mentioning like Umbaran. I think that's either one of these two. I think it might be the Jedi here. Clone Trooper, a Mandalorian. And people, when we got the leaks about this game and they mentioned Mandalorian, it was like, oh God, are they going to be doubling down on it because Mando? But it just kind of feels like this is like a Suicide Squad in a sense. Like it's just
Which I'm tired of
the
Suicide Squad ripoffs. I'm gonna be honest with you.
I don't think it's specifically that, but I mean like
I hope not.
A group of people who are willing to do anything to get stuff done. What's interesting about that is like this. I think this is the Umbaran. You know, like the mechanoid people that made the droids.
Real? Ow! Fuck! Ow! They made a robot into a Jedi. I didn't think they could do that.
They did it. And it looks awesome. Umbaran is the one with the bubble helmet. Oh, okay. So, I don't know if it's.
I'm gonna be honest with the bubble helmet. That makes sense.
Apparently, I didn't even know about this. His helmet is filled with nothing but like gases that make him just high, and he's a sniper.
So he's a sniper that's always on cocaine.
Yes. Exactly.
Okay.
Anyway, let's get down to the nitty-gritty. We're not going to go over this whole article, but recruit an unconventional team of operatives and deploy them on missions unlike any other in the galaxy far, far away in Zero Company, the newly announced single-player turn-based tactics game developed by BitReactor in collaboration with Respawn Entertainment. See, that's what got me interested about this, is Respawn. Respawn did Jedi Fallen Order and Jedi Survivor, which to me felt like the most accurate to George Lucas Star Wars that we've gotten since Disney bought them.
Right.
Since Disney bought Lucasfilm.
Didn't they also do Titanfall?
Yes, they did Titanfall, they did Apex Legends. But they did it pretty accurately and pretty well. It's not the greatest thing ever, but it was at least enough of like they did good to kind of be like, okay, you did good. Just do more good. Do more of this.
Yeah.
Zero Company features a gritty and authentic original story set during the twilight of the Clone Wars that puts players in control of Hawks, a former Republic officer who's in charge of an elite squad of cunning operatives as an unconventional outfit of professionals for hire hailing from across the galaxy. So it is a bounty hunter group, essentially. I'm curious where the Jedi and the clone come into this, but we'll see.
We will definitely see. Again, I don't really like games like that, but it does sound like it might potentially be interesting.
This isn't just a Clone Wars game, Kellogg adds. This is a game in the Clone Wars, but from a new angle. This is really BitReactor's vision. It's their Star Wars story, and we're here to help them tell it. So you're also going to see influence from the political intrigue of Andor. You're going to see the gritty battles of Rogue One, and you're going to see the wit and wisdom of A New Hope. It's a Star Wars game through and through. I'm skeptical because Star Wars is been in the shitter for years.
Yes.
Minus their games. The games are pretty much where they kind of shine lately. Minus what Ubisoft slop.
Yeah, I was going to say, you're going to have to be careful there because everybody's going to call you out for Outlaws.
Outlaws is the only one thus far that's been genuine slop. Since Well, no, that's false. Battlefield 2. But Battlefield 2 did get better. Anyway, point stands. I don't know. It looks interesting to me. I'm excited, but as someone who also likes strategy games, I will probably be playing it day one. Like, I'm excited. This is definitely a next year game, though.
Oh, don't 100%.
I mean,
I guess we'll have to wait and see if it is actually good. I mean, like, they have a good company, and it is a potentially good IP.
Mhm.
But you know, I think that Disney has fucked up for a while, and we'll have to wait and see if there's actually anything good that they produce.
Exactly. So Outlaw should be outlawed. Yeah, no, yeah. So they announced Zero Company, which looks, honestly, to me, looks good.
Mhm.
They announced a new Lego series for Star Wars. Oh boy.
I know that bunny.
I don't.
I know that bunny. That's a bunny that's like it's a very obscure oh, you know what? Do you mind if I show some react if I could pull up a video here in a few minutes? Let me Oh,
Wasn't there
what
a
is his
recent
name?
team shooter Star Wars game that was terrible? Yes, and it's getting shut down. How did I
Hold
even
on.
get here?
Lost-
Also the god awful Battlefront 1 and 2 remaster last year. Yes. That yeah. That.
Let me see if I can find it. There's this guy named Austin McConnell who talks about stuff, and that bunny is from a obscure comic in Star Wars lore that I think you might find interesting.
Okay.
Let me see if I can find it because oh my gosh, he has written a lot.
Yeah, people in chat are saying Bucky O'Hare.
Yeah, but yeah. I just got to find the video because
Okay,
it's a good video.
While you find that, we'll keep kind of going down what they announced.
Yep, keep talking.
They announced a I guess a new droid Cookie made his debut. I don't know, whatever. Star Wars: The Old Republic. So, for those who don't know, Star Wars: The Old Republic is an MMO for Star Wars. I actually made a big post about it on my Twitter about how I have problems with this game, and maybe I should give it a try again. But apparently it got some new content. Narrative director Ashley Rule discusses that what makes Star Wars: The Old Republic so special to players 13 years later after launch. I hear from people who play this game still that it looks good. Like, it's actually still like a good game. So, my big problem with The Old Republic is it is heavily like monetized. Let's put it this way: it is a subscription game that also lists itself as a free-to-play game, and they have a microtransaction store that is uber greedy.
Of course. I found the video, by the way.
Okay. Do you want to stream it and play it, or do you want to send it to me?
I'll go ahead and stream it for us here. Yeah. Give me one moment. Okay.
Here, let me pull up on my stream.
So this is Austin McConnell, who the video that time the Han Solo teamed up with a giant green rabbit. It's a 10-minute video, and again, I'm pretty sure this is a comic book that talks about this, but it is a very interesting comic. And there, again, it is. I'm kind of surprised you've not heard of this, but it is a kind of obscure story. So let me know when you see the screen.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
So whether you love Star Wars or hate it, there's no denying everybody loves Chewie. But you might not be aware that back in 1977, when Marvel owned the rights for the franchise's comic book series the first time, one of the most gangstalicious characters you'll ever see had a limited-run side quest with Han Solo himself and gave our favorite furry fuzzball a run for his money. This guy thinks I talk too long and sound like a poorly written high school book report, so let me extend you an olive branch, sir, and invite you to sit back, relax, and let me learn you a thing or two about a bunny named Jax.
The name's Jackson. You can call me Jackson for short, which I ain't.
This is like legitimately a thing that Marvel put out It's kind of crazy.
That's funny.
Also, if you're asking if I'm putting out ads, no, I am just letting YouTube do ads by itself. YouTube says that it's doing ads. Apparently YouTube claims that it does ads better now when there's dead air. So if there's dead air, YouTube might just throw an ad in there. I'm sorry.
Isn't it pay to win? I don't know if the Old Republic is pay to win. Here, okay, let's put it this way: you can't take off your so you know how MMOs will allow you to take off your helmet and allow you to see your character.
Mm-hmm.
You have to either pay for the subscription or pay to take off your helmet.
Oh, I hate that.
Yeah, I hate that
I hate
too.
that a lot. Okay, let's continue.
No, we just can't stand still.
I did get the name wrong. His name is Jackson. With X's.
The Old Republic is pay to
So
play
Marvel's
easier.
Star Wars
Oh, okay.
comics started hitting the shelves 6 weeks before the original film even dropped. To call them quirky is an understatement. Issues 1 through 6 are a fairly straightforward adaptation of the original film, but starting in issue 7, things get wild. Keep in mind, at this point in Star Wars history, the expanded universe was essentially non-existent. We like to think of Star Wars as having a vast and growing amount of story and lore behind it, but in early 77, the only reference material that Marvel had was just a rough cut of a movie that nobody had seen yet. And nobody was even sure if that flick would click with audiences. So, with no real certainty of celluloid sequels and no further story notes or plot guidelines to go off of, Marvel got to issue 7 and basically said, let's just wing it, man. And started coming up with their own
Yeah, so
story.
again, this was before the first movie came out, which is, I think it's just kind of insane that they put out comics before the movies even came out. I kind of forgot about this. It's just kind of crazy. I think Jax has a connection with Rocket Raccoon. You might be correct on that. And now that Marvel is in the same vein as Star Wars again, it's very possible that there could be a crossover that you never know about.
I hope not.
Lines for the universe.
Me
As a
too.
consequence, a lot of what you're about to see is gonna look, sound, and seem weird. As in, really weird. As in the name of the show. That's the joke. Haha, get it. Great, moving on. So issue 7 opens up where the motion picture left off. Han Solo starts making his way back to Tatooine to pay off his debt to Jabba the Hutt when he and Chewie are quickly overrun by space pirates who board the Millennium Falcon at Blaster Point and leave him with nada. Tough luck, Brohim. So within mere moments they go from loaded to broke, and they decide to touch down on a nearby planet called Aduba 3 to lie low and regroup. When they arrive, there's a brief run-in with some locals, but the pair is soon approached in a nearby cantina for some freelance work. So it turns out there's a big bad bully running around roughing up the locals that goes by the name of Sergi X Arrogantus.
Aye, that is his name. Sergi X Arrogantus, the arrogant one.
And a group of said townspeople are offering up a nice reward for whomever can take Mr. Arrogant out. Han and Chewie think, hey, that's an easy way to make some quick credits, so they're all in. But wait, this dude is the head of a local swoop gang, so for Han's plan to really work, he's got to hire some extra guns himself for the inevitable showdown. And here's where Jax comes in. Jackson's first appearance is in issue 8. It continues for the next long while. 8, 9, 10, he's in a quick flashback panel in 11, and then he's a main player in 16. Not a bad run for an oversized buck. So Han puts the word out for local spacers to meet him at his temporary pad for auditions, and like all great 70s comic book heroes, he apparently decides the best way to handle said interviews is with his shirt off and the sorriest He-Man impression you could ever imagine. Han assembles a crack team of freelancers, and the group takes
Can
up
you
the
imagine
moniker of
Harrison Ford doing these
Solos.
things now?
I'll be honest with you, I kind of wish that if there was a solo movie, I kind of wish this would be it. I feel like this would be much better than what the Han Solo movie
Not
would be.
a Disney solo movie.
Yes. But like I would so be down for this as a Han Solo movie. But
Like
I know
Guardians
I
of
feel
the
like they could put it
Galaxy
somewhere.
comedy Star Wars thing.
Yes, it would be perfect. Oh my gosh, I want it so badly. You know you want it too, Tom.
That would be kind of cool.
7. Just kidding, that would have been too sick. They take up the moniker of Solo Suicide Squad. Kidding, again kidding, that would have been copyright violation. They called themselves the Star
Would it have been a
Hoppers of
copyright
Aduba
violation at the
3.
time?
No, I don't think it would have because technically, I don't think Suicide Squad existed back then. I don't know. I think Austin likes to make silly jokes. Some of them don't land. I'd pay for it. I would too.
Yeah,
It's
so would
a
I.
70s comic book, and that's just sort of the names they used back then. Lineup's pretty solid. There's a kid named Jim and his broke-down droid named Effie. There's a dude named Haji who can shoot large spikes from his hands. A classic 70s scandally clad seductress named Amaza. Gonna put these censor bars here to keep things even. There's an old man named Don Juan Quixote, who claims to be the last remaining Jedi Knight.
Yeah. Yeah, this was the Last Jedi before the Last Jedi.
Also, Luke
Both writers really
existed at that
Uh,
point.
yeah.
had the
And
word Knight to go off of
technically-
her costuming.
Maybe Obi-Wan did as well.
Mhm.
Anyway, semantics.
Oh. Yeah, you're good.
Inspiration. And finally, last but not least, the big green bunny rabbit smuggler of the hour.
Out of my way, rodent. I just found out that new guy's hiring spacers, and I want some money so his eyes can get off this rock.
Yeah, I ain't no rodent, Captain, and I'm next in line, so why don't you just...
You mean you was next. Now, open up in there, pal, and let me...
Excuse me, Junior, but I really gotta insist that you haul your wart-covered carcass back to the end of the line, you know?
Blast off, rodent, or there's plenty more fits where that one came from.
I ain't about to doubt it, pal, but like I said before, I ain't no rodent.
With a kick and a toss, we learn one very important lesson.
Don't nobody badger the bunny.
The name's Jackson. You can call me Jax for short, which I ain't.
Solo's impressed and hires him on the spot. With the team assembled, they make their way on Bantha back into town to protect some local farmers. They get some practice shots in against some...
Around episode 4, most surviving Jedi probably did think they were the last. This
Yeah.
is true. This is very, very
Unlike
true.
current Disney Star Wars, where Order 66 might as well have not happened.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Talon-toting pterodactyls, and we discover our boy Jackson dual wields like a boss and throws them hands like a beast. He's even got some smooth moves for the ladies.
You know, Amaza, when this babysitting mission's over, how's about you and me teaming up? I got a hunch we could make beautiful blaster music together. No thanks, Bucktooth.
Oof, tough luck, space hopper.
Jackson and the gang finally square off against Sir JX and his swoop gang, and long story short, after a knockdown drag-out that involves a giant behemoth from the world below, the mustachioed menace gets trampled underfoot and sent to the Shadow Realm. Nothing funnier than mixing franchises. The behemoth then turns on the Starhoppers, and with nary a monologue, Jackson hops into action. Dodging rocks and laser shots at breakneck speed, he goes one-on-one against the giant monster and...
I really love that he's like censoring.
I do
her
too.
chest. It's so good. It's so good. It's hilarious.
fails miserably. But look, that's not the point. Point is, while everybody else was whining and complaining hunkered down behind cover, this silly rabbit put his life on the line to get the job done.
10 points to Gryffindor.
Now, to be fair, a couple other things happen on the battlefield, like the old geezer nearly kicking the bucket, and Han charging at the crazed behemoth and cutting it down with the old man's lightsaber, but nobody cares about all that. All you need to know is that Jax helps to save the day.
Why
The
is
Starhoppers complete their mission, netting a nice...
Oh.
Can't see it, chat, because we're covering it, but he's censored. Like, I know that she's like wearing a bikini, and I think that's why he's censoring it. It's so hilarious.
It's not censored on they're not covered on my screen, chat.
Oh my gosh, that is so hilarious.
Oh.
I love it so much.
The old Marvel
Some
art
of
style
credits
as
as
well,
a
just
reward.
oof.
Like, this is classic Marvel. I love
Yeah.
it.
Also, why does
And then
Chewie have lips?
Nothing.
I don't know.
For 4 more issues, we have radio silence as to what becomes of the Green Gunslinger. But out of nowhere, in issue 16, he's back on the map. Turns out Jackson used his cut to beef up his own personal ride, the Rabbit's Foot, into a lean, mean, star-cruising machine. Oh, and by the way,
He gets the girl too.
Amaza
Hell
and Jackson
yeah.
set up shop on
Bro, get the bitch. That's awesome.
Nar Shaddaa, and like Lickety Split, they've put up a highly lucrative smuggling business. Everything seems to be going aces, but after bidding the lady goodnight one evening, he heads towards home, and on the way back,
The hare gets snared.
turns out a bounty hunter's been trying to track down Luke Skywalker.
Oh my God, it's
and
a
figures
space
he can get
marine.
some info on the
It
kid-
is a space marine. What the fuck is he?
It's literally a space marine.
Dude, this was an era of Star Wars that was
Oh
amazing.
my God.
location out of a known associate. Dude's half human, half robot, so his heart's cold as ice.
Literally
His
a
crew
space
string
marine.
jacks up for interrogation and attach an agony inducer to one of our little buddy's big green bunny ears. Here's the thing, though. This rodent don't squeal.
I ain't telling you nothing, copper.
Jackson ain't no snitch, you dig, and he takes that torture like a champ. Doesn't give up nothing. Before too long, little Miss Softspot Seductress busts in and takes the goons out, giving our lucky rabbit a new lease on life. The pair then hippity-hip-hops into the rabbit's foot and take off. After an intense space battle, their ship crashes back on Aduba 3, and Jackson, now standing on his own two paws, makes mincemeat of the pursuing bounty hunter. In a last-ditch effort, the cyborg takes a total cheap shot and breaks away to make his escape.
Punk move, yo.
And the very last image we get of Jackson the Starhopper is that of a determined freelance smuggler, looking up into the vastness of space, wondering what comes next. Now, if I didn't know any better, I'd figure you're probably thinking to yourself right about now,
Yeah, pretty good story, man.
so will somebody tell me why Jackson the Big Green Rabbit gets so much flack and is known as one of the least liked characters in the Star Wars universe? I don't get it.
I feel like that's about it to watch, honestly. Now you know who Jackson is.
Yeah.
So when you pulled out that picture of the bunny, I was just like, oh my gosh, are they actually putting in the bunny from that comic a shit while ago?
Mm.
It was so hilarious. So thank you for showing that, because now people know that once Marvel wrote a comic for Star Wars and it was fantastic.
Okay. So, we got Star Wars Starfighter, director Sean Levy, and surprise guest star Ryan Gosling announced the title of the next Star Wars theatrical film. So, we're getting a Ryan Gosling Star Wars movie.
Okay. What's it about?
Hold on, let's see. Actually, I would say I don't know, but actually. Ryan Gosling is joining the Star Wars galaxy in a new film directed by Sean Levy. For those who don't know Sean Levy, he recently did Deadpool and Wolverine. So, fair. Levy, who recently directed and produced Marvel's hit Deadpool and Wolverine, made a surprise appearance during the Mandalorian and Grogu panel today, joining Lucasfilm president Kathleen Kennedy, and Chief Directive Officer Dave Filoni on stage to confirm his project for the live audience at Star Wars Celebration in Japan. One of several theatrical projects still in development from Lucasfilm include films by Shamir Obaid Chinoy, James Mangold, Taika Waititi, and a new trilogy by Simon Kinberg. Levy's film, Star Wars Starfighter, will star Gosling and go into production starting this fall. That approximately 5 years after the events of The Rise of Skywalker, Gosling will play a brand new character teased by the actor appearance on stage. So it is sequel trilogy Star Wars. Ew.
Like, after the most recent movies?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
What's funny is I'm hearing rumors that Disney shelved the Rey movie in favor of this one.
Okay.
So we'll see. I don't have faith.
Right. We will see. We will see. I do know that Disney's been shelving quite a lot of movies recently just because they're afraid of the people. They're afraid of people. Basically anything after Snow White. I've heard that they are just terrified to bring out anything. So I'm not surprised.
Yeah. And we got the Mandalorian and Grogu movie. Apparently footage was leaked for this. Not
There's
like
a Grogu
footage.
movie.
Not like footage from like leaked footage from development, but from Star Wars Celebration. Because they show off trailer and stuff there. Apparently, so do you remember the Clone Wars movie? Like the one where Anakin and
Which
Ahsoka
one?
had to go save Jabba's son from the
Yeah.
Separatists. It's that, but now Mando and Grogu.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's another side quest.
And this is a movie.
This is
in
a movie.
theaters.
Akko is
I
very
have
echoey.
made-
I don't know what to say about Akko being echoey.
I have many issues with that. Number one, this requires you to watch the TV show in order for people to understand it, and most people don't have Disney Plus, so they're going to go to this movie and be very confused. That's why I hate TV shows mixed in with movies.
Chat, how about that? Oh, you know what? I know why Akko's echoey. Hold on.
Why?
There we go, chat. Sorry. Akko's no longer
Excuse
echoey.
me.
Because I had Discord audio on, and then I also had my React audio on, which is also on Discord.
Okay. I see.
Which I could have just let my Discord audio up and said, oh, sorry, chat. Sorry about that.
I get you.
And then here's the big thing that was announced at Star Wars Celebration. Lucasfilm Animation took a look back and look forward by announcing Star Wars Maul Shadowlord. Surprise guest Sam Witwer took the stage to reveal his return to the galaxy far, far away.
We're gonna have a Darth Maul movie.
No, this is an animated show.
Okay.
After the Clone Wars, Maul plots to rebuild his criminal syndicate on a planet untouched by the Empire. During the 20th anniversary Lucasfilm Animation panel at Star Wars Celebration Japan, surprise guest Sam Witwer took to the stage to reveal his return to the galaxy far, far away as the star of the next animated series, Star Wars Maul Shadowlord. Witwer first portrayed Maul in the Clone Wars, later reprising the role in Star Wars Rebels, and in the new series, that after the events of the final season of the Clone Wars, Maul rises again to lead the underworld factions. Fans attending the panel in person got an early look at the series' new animation style with an in-room only sizzle reel. This will go into production and debut next year. We're hearing rumors about this from the trailer. So there was a trailer. It was at Star Wars Celebration, so we don't have it. We can't watch it. But
Probably a good idea.
we can't do that. But from what I'm hearing about the trailer, Maul is training an apprentice named Darth Talon.
Is that like a big name that I don't?
Yes, it is. Actually, it's a very big name.
Sorry, chat.
So when George Lucas was talking about his sequel trilogy,
Okay.
he mentioned that it was going to take place after Return of the Jedi, and it was going to feature Maul as the main antagonist, replacing the Emperor as like the big bad.
Mm-hmm.
And his apprentice, Darth Talon, was going to essentially be our new Darth Vader.
Darth Talon is literally a porn icon.
Yeah, she's Twi'lek and is
so
wearing.
It's a female.
She is female, and she is very revealing. At least originally she was.
I'm looking at pictures of her right now.
Yeah.
I am telling you right now, there is no way they make Darth Talon look that pretty in this show.
No, absolutely not.
Absolutely zero fucking way that she looks that beautiful and is that revealing. I'm looking at pictures of her right now, chat. No fucking way. Absolutely zero fucking way we're gonna get that. All right.
But this has kind of got people talking. It's like, wait a second. Does that mean Maul Shadowlord is going to take events from George's sequel trilogy? And from what I don't know if it's been confirmed, but from what it sounds like, Sam Witwer is actually the one in charge of this show, as well as also being in it as Maul.
Is he a good one?
He champions George Lucas Star Wars. Like, you will constantly see him on podcasts and different like talk shows, and he will nerd the hell out about George Lucas Star Wars.
Okay.
So this one definitely has faith, or people have faith in this one, because it's not just a Disney shill. He is a genuine classic Star Wars fan.
So maybe put some stock into it. Maybe potentially.
Exactly.
I don't know.
Sam Witwer is an actual fan. Yes, he is. Let's put it this way. There was a point in the Clone Wars show where Dave Filoni, he actually said this in an interview, Sam Witwer did, that Dave Filoni was going to have a scene where Padme met Shmi. And Sam actually stopped the auditions because he was actually in mid auditions.
Yeah.
Because he hadn't been casted yet for them all then. And he actually raised his voice saying, "Hey, we can't do that." And Dave was like, "Well, why can't we do that?" And Sam's response is, "Because Padme already met me in episode 1."
Right.
And that's like what some people really go to is like, wait a second, he's actually like looking at lore bits from like way back, and is actually like, you can't mess with that because he already knew something prior. He out nerded Filoni, exactly. So, and Sam is also the voice of Palpatine in some media.
Mhm.
And he also was Starkiller in The Force Unleashed. So Sam has a long history with Star Wars.
Okay.
I trust Sam. I don't trust Disney, and Kennedy not screwed up. Exactly. Disney, Kathleen Kennedy are the problems here. If this was entirely down to Sam Witwer, I think Maul Shadowlord has potential to be like a rejuvenation of the franchise for a lot of people.
Yep.
And maybe it still will. You know what? Maybe it still will. I mean, this is definitely something I'm most excited about because of the people involved with it. They also announced Light and Magic Season 2. I don't even know what that is. Season 2 showcases how the innovators at ILM, with the visionary guidance to George Lucas, continued to pioneer new techniques. Oh, okay, so it's about the technical side of making Star Wars movies back then, because George did try to innovate repeatedly. They also announced new comics for the manga, novels, art books, and other stuff here. They're adding manga adaptations to the Timothy Zahn and Jedi Star Wars Fallen Order stuff.
Are those collectibles that they're showing off?
Yeah, these are collectibles here, and they don't look great.
That's a frog right there.
Yeah, it is a frog. Let's see. Ew.
More Legos.
Anything else important? No, that was it. Okay. So that was pretty much like the big thing, was the Maul Shadowlord announcement. That was like the big thing for people.
Uh-huh. At least in terms of Star Wars.
Yes.
Okay.
So yeah, there was that.
Okay. Do you have the Discord story up?
I can bring it up.
I would appreciate that, yeah.
All right, let's get into the Discord story. Chat. Discord is testing a new feature that requires users to submit a face scan to access age-restricted content.
Now, I have briefly looked over this story. If you are in the UK or Australia, you're fucked. But if you're in America, freedom-loving country, you're going to be fine for a little bit longer. But I am not quite sure what age-restricted content is going to mean. I don't know if this is going to make it easier for people to have Discord servers that are more sensitive, or if they're going to make it to where if you verify your account with Discord, it will be like easier, like you can just join servers without having to, because I know that I'm in some servers where you have to submit your ID, and I have not submitted the whole ID, chat, because I'm not going to dox myself to a whole bunch of random people. But what you do is you submit your birth year and the expiration date of the ID in some of these servers. And when you do that, they give you access. Some of them will take, if you have like a Fansly, they'll take your Fansly if you can prove that it's yours. But yeah, this is kind of an issue. Some people are bringing up in chat already the potential issues from this. Some people are extremely young looking. I know that I have seen Ava's face, but I've seen a lot of people in Lucky Entertainment's face or faces. Some people are just young looking, and because they are just young looking, you don't look young looking. You look like a normal a mid-20s person. Because some people are young looking, people will definitely have issues. In my personal opinion, I'm pretty sure Dexterito had an article for this. If you want to scroll down just a little bit.
Oh yeah, it's right here.
Yeah, that right there.
Hold on, I am closing something. I need to reopen it.
Okay.
Okay.
Whoa. Did you have like YouTube open or something?
No, it was I closed your Twitch window and I reopened it, and that's what it was.
I see.
Discord is testing a new feature that requires users to submit a face scan or send a photo of their ID to access explicit content. Since its initial release in 2015, Discord has been a popular instant messaging app, whether in the gaming space or other communities. Despite its useful features, however, the app has also had its share of problems related to underage users, which is true. It absolutely does.
Yes, every couple of, not months, every like couple quarters, Discord has a new gaffe. Makes me really sad because I like the Wumpus. I have a Wumpus, and I'm sad that the Wumpus gets a lot of hate and pain.
With that in mind, the platform has just started rolling out a new age verification feature, which is currently only available in the UK and Australia. Discord described this method as an experiment, explaining that it has been designed to help users manage content filter settings and the visibility of sensitive content. Now, this is something that, admittedly, from right here, is they're saying is this could be a feature you could toggle on a server.
Which is good. If that is the case. Here's my question, is whether or not they're going to start requiring it regardless if you do or don't want it. Anyway, continue.
The age verification feature essentially prevents access to explicit content for those whose ages have not yet been verified. Some content in the app is flagged with a sensitive media filter according to Discord's page, and with this feature, users may need to verify their age group first when they enter this type of content, and they will have two options to choose from in order to access it. The first is to allow the app's access to the user's camera to complete and submit a face scan. On the other hand, the second option requires users to send a clear photo of their ID. Following the guidelines, once that's set up, the user will receive a direct message confirming their age group and they're on their account. It's natural to be concerned when you have to share sensitive information. However, according to Discord, the required information users share for the age verification method they choose is only used for the one time and is not stored by Discord or its vendor. I don't trust them.
They're not even using an in-house software. They're going to use a third-party vendor. So we need to figure out who the third-party vendor is and see if the third-party vendor has been hacked before, and you'll see how reliable it is. Because I know that when VR Chat came out with their age verification software, people pointed out that it was very easily hacked, and they've had issues with the software. So VR Chat was like kind of lampooned for some of that.
For face scan, the solution our vendor uses operates on device, which means there is no collection of any biometric information when you scan your face. For ID verification, the scan of your ID is deleted upon verification, they explained. In addition, it's worth noting that a user's account could be banned if they're below the age requirement. That's a lot of, yeah.
So if you submit a face and they think you look too young, they could ban your account.
Yep.
Oh, no.
Though if they've been falsely banned, they could submit an appeal.
Oh, that is so bad. Oh my gosh.
The thing is, this sounds bad enough that it will go through for every country.
Probably.
I made a post about this, and I actually want to read it on stream. I do have to pull it up, though.
Excuse me.
Gotta get past all of my retweets. Here it is. I said, I don't trust Discord. The problem with Discord is very similar to Twitter. It's too big to die, and people could try making alternative services, but they won't use it. Twitter turning to X and users going to Blue Sky and back is the greatest example. TeamSpeak is making a resurgence, but nothing will be as big as Discord again. The only way to change this is for Discord to flat out die, which never will happen. The only way to change things at this point would be for someone to buy it, which I doubt anyone will, because it requires someone like Elon or Elon-like to handle it. And if anyone were to buy it at this point, would be Microsoft, which would make things significantly worse.
Yeah, because Microsoft wanted to buy it at one point, didn't they?
Yes, they did, and Discord wanted to remain independent.
Yeah, which is nice at the very least that they want to remain independent. I'd rather have the furries be on their own than be owned by Microsoft.
Yeah, exactly.
Skype is dying soon. Well, nobody uses Skype. Everybody abandoned it for Discord.
And that's the thing is like all these platforms, TeamSpeak died, Skype died, so many different chat programs died and went to Discord. I mean, you look at Nintendo. Nintendo's another great example of this. Is Nintendo didn't want to have a chat feature on the Switch, so they made a mobile app to do that, and everyone was like, "Why would I use that when I have Discord?"
And nobody uses it.
Yeah. So Discord is just a little too big for its britches at this point. And it's gotten to a point that it doesn't matter what happens here with this. The only thing that will cause Discord to back off of this is if they're bought by someone like Elon.
Yeah, but the thing is Elon uses uses a verification for your verification badge. Technically, it is just your credit card details, but you can submit your ID for enhanced verification, which you have to do if you want to make money on the platform.
So, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, this is bad in my personal opinion.
This is bad, yeah.
But by the same token, I knew it was inevitable.
So did I. This is a fast one. Yeah. Breaking.
Let me grab some water.
Harry Potter will be black in the upcoming Harry Potter series on HBO. There is a community note already that says this is false. But it is a joke on the idea that they made Snape black, so they could easily just make Harry black. Everything will be censored under Elon. I'm sorry, but I wouldn't trust Elon with a pet rock. Fair. Didn't Discord go public? I believe I don't remember if they did or not. So that's Snape. To be fair, again, chat, this is false. We don't have an actor for Harry Potter yet. Like, they've actually not confirmed a Potter, like an actor for him. So this is fake. We don't know, but this is just funny. Kind of retain all biometric data. Yep. Absolutely.
Oh. All right.
Ooh, welcome back.
Yep. So, I don't believe the Harry Potter will actually be black.
No, I don't think so.
Mostly
either.
because of the community note. I feel like that was a troll that people are trying to get either rage bait from, or it was somebody that's trying to spread around a rumor because they hope it's true. Either way, I don't believe it is true.
Either way, yeah. I don't believe it's
I think
true
that J.K. Rowling isn't. J.K. Rowling is paused, but she's not that paused. Speaking of which, did you see the most recent picture that she took of herself? She's like sitting in a recliner with wine in one hand and a cigar in another.
Yes, I did see that.
And that's because in the UK, I think, the High Court in the UK has now voted into law that trans women are not actually women.
I think that was in America.
No, I'm pretty sure that was in the UK.
Hold on.
I'm like 99% sure it's in the UK.
Hold on. Rules. Okay, UK Supreme Court. Okay. All right.
Yeah, it was UK. That's what I said.
I'm surprised it was in the UK for that. Considering the climate here, I actually would have expected that to be America and not the UK.
Once we're done here, chat, we're going to take a small break for super chats.
Yep.
Because I haven't read them in a hot minute.
Oh yeah, no. Go ahead and do that. I'm gonna swap the battery in my headset.
All right. No, it was the UK. Dankula made a video. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was the UK. That's what I said. So I know I was right about that. Wolfsbane for 2. Wolfsbane sent a few here. Wolfsbane for 2. Gosh dang it, it reset. Hold on. Wolfsbane for 2. Anybody remember the fighting game Persona 4 Arena? I am
Yes.
not. I am just barely getting started on Persona 4. So I think I'm going to my first dungeon here soon.
Yes,
But
you
I
are.
have not. And then Wolfsbane again for another 2. Has Games Workshop been stealing from Marvel? Arch! Yeah, somebody tell Arch that Games Workshop stole from stole from Marvel or whatever. I don't know. Wolfsbane again for 2. Taking talent from the rule of 1. How dare they? Yeah, I wish that Talon was going to be nice looking. She's not going to be. I sent a direct link. A direct link to what?
Okay.
Hold on. Oh, Discord might go public and gamers are not.
Yeah, here,
happy.
I opened it on my stream.
Okay. Well, we'll read that in a few minutes here. Let's see here. Mercenary for 2. They will require make you pay for it on a void. Maybe eventually, potentially, maybe. I feel like Twitter and a couple other places, the age verification will be optional. But like in VR chat, you won't be able to access some servers unless you verify your age.
Yep.
Where if they are adult servers, maybe you should. I don't know. The debate is always a back and forth with me because, like, on one hand, it's like, yeah, I don't think that you should have to give your ID for anything that isn't like for a bank account. But by the same token, I just look at this and I'm like, I don't know. I feel like this is unfortunately just inevitable. I don't know. I feel like we're gonna approach a point where there's nothing we're gonna do but have to do it. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
The article says that they're using it for AI. Okay, throw it in Discord. Unless this is the one that you're talking about. Then Shadowgale for 7 months. Elon can't keep bots off Twitter, so I don't expect him to slave any platform. This is true. Elon definitely has issues with bots. I've noticed that they aren't nearly as bad as they used to be, but it is indeed an issue. And then we'll span again for 2. We are the wizard. We were wizards and shit, Professor Snape. Oh, that's good. That's good. All right, here. I'll let you bring that up. We did meet the next goal chat, so thank you.
All right.
Yippies will have an ice cream social.
So this was posted on March 7th, 2025, so this year. A few things are more aggravating to video game fans than watching an inexperienced player ruin campaign progress. Then there's this. Discord, the go-to chat platform for gamers, is exploring IPO options. The New York Times reported this week, prompting fears that the free social network would start prioritizing Wall Street returns over user experience. Early stages, Discord's leadership has met with investment bankers over the past few weeks to discuss going public as early as this year. But the company's IPO plans are tentative and could change. Two unnamed sources told the New York Times, "We do not comment on rumors or speculation," a Discord spokesperson told the newspaper. More than 90% of Discord's 200 million monthly active users are there for gaming-related purposes. They're embracing several Reddit users in the group, r/Discord app, and r/technology, competent variations of let the and shitification begin, invoking the viral phrase used to describe UX decline of shareholder beholden platforms on a post about potential IPO. Looking back, Discord considered going public as early as 2021. According to the Financial Times, the same year it was valued at $15 billion and declined a takeover offer from Microsoft. Looking ahead, the public listing of a popular tech company like Discord could kickstart IPOs, which have been slow so far this year, despite expectations that a softer regulatory environment would lead to an uptick. That's it.
So there is a chance that it could be purchased.
Yes.
I dropped it in suggestions. Okay.
Here, I will look at that before I show it on stream.
You are still showing it on stream, by the way.
Oh, on your stream?
Yeah, I can see it.
Oh. It's whatever. Chat here. I'll just swap this back over to reaction. We can read this if you want, but I'm not overly surprised about this.
What is it? If you could summarize it, what is it basically saying?
That they're gonna use AI for this. Which
Oh, I am not surprised in the least bit.
all right, let's give this a minor read. Discord, a popular communication platform, blah 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 blah, because we've been going over that. First, it's important to understand why Discord decided to implement this feature. The answer lies with Discord's underage ban appeal system. In its current state, if a user on Discord claims to be under 13, even as a joke, their account may be reported and subsequently banned. Yep. To appeal this ban, the user has to provide a photo of themselves holding a government-issued ID that includes their date of birth. This procedure has been seen as invasive by many users, because it is, leading to a significant number of appeals and a backlog for Discord support team. Therefore, the introduction of the video selfie feature can be seen as an attempt to streamline the appeals process and alleviate the workload of Discord support team. However, the implementation of this feature raises concerns about its safety and the technology behind it. The feature is powered by Kid, a company that specializes in age verification using facial age estimation technology. The technology analyzes the
It's gonna get it wrong so often.
Yes, it is. But yeah, basically saying, hey, they're gonna use AI to try and offset the workload of the support team,
Oh boy.
which is gonna bite them in the ass. Yay!
AI use I can see making so many problems. Yeah.
Yeah, I can too. Yeah, I think this is relevant considering there are rumors about tomorrow. We'll go into this. We don't have. I want to try and get do our topics a little bit faster because Occo has a big thing Occo wants to talk about at the end.
Yeah.
So we'll get into this. Elder Scrolls Oblivion remastered file size will be 120 gigabytes.
I'm not surprised. What is a remaster? So I imagine the old version of Oblivion was way smaller than that.
Like 6 gigs.
Let's see. That's 1/20th of the size that it will be. Jeez.
And some people have questioned, well, wait a second, is this even real? They were found, dev pictures were found, and here.
I mean, it does look nice.
It does look nice. I mean, but also I do kind of miss like this on the left here, which is the old one, is vibrant and colorful, and over here on the right kind of looks a little muted, if that makes sense.
No, I know exactly what you mean. It's more realistic feeling, which is what a lot of people are not excited for. Like, a lot of games are going more realistic feel, and because of that, games are starting to feel very samey, in my personal opinion.
No, I agree. Yeah, do you think we'll get a Final Fantasy IX remaster or remake? I do, and I think we're getting it next year. I think it will get announced this year, though.
Oh yeah.
The reason why this is relevant, Jap, is because there are rumors that this is going to be shadow dropped tomorrow.
Like the entire game, or
the entire game shadow dropped tomorrow.
Like to buy?
Yes, to buy.
Really?
Uh-huh. The reason why is because It's not in our docket, but a Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion remastered tag has like a not tag, but like a what is the category? A category for it has appeared on Twitch. So this game is real. And obviously, based on these images, it is very real at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Also, apparently, a physical edition was leaked. There's something really funny to note here. Horse armor DLC.
Oh, do they really have the horse armor DLC?
Uh-huh.
Oh.
I can't. Okay, chat. Is it wrong of me that I kind of want to, like, if it gets shadow dropped tomorrow, maybe just buying it and then laughing about it?
That's a very expensive laugh. That's like what, $70, $80?
Probably going to be 70. Well, okay, maybe not. It might be 80. Not 80. God, sorry, that's worse. 60. But very realistically, it's going to be 70.
I'm going to be honest with you. That's a very expensive laugh, man.
We'll see. We'll see what they do. Because again, it could be shadow drop. They could wait to not like release it until after Summer Game Fest. We don't know if tomorrow like the rumors are real. If they shadow drop it, they might need to have like a cheaper price.
Wouldn't it be on Game Pass?
Yes, very likely.
Maybe.
But the Sky Oblivion team actually responded to this. For those who don't know about the Sky Oblivion team, consumer. Chat, I didn't say I was gonna buy it. I just said I was considering it.
Did.
No, I said I was considering it. And also, it does not matter until it's bought. Oh, anyway.
Okay.
So, the Sky Oblivion statement regarding the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion remaster. We've been following the buzz surrounding an official remaster of Oblivion. As dedicated Elder Scrolls fans, we are incredibly excited by this prospect and sincerely hope the information proves accurate. The glimpses we've seen look fantastic, and we eagerly await the possibility of experiencing a modern, professionally developed return to Cyrodiil. Bethesda has always been supportive of community projects like ours, and we don't see that changing anytime soon, especially because this is not in your cart right now, is it? No, chat, it's not even on Steam. It's not even real yet. That's the point of a shadow drop, is it's out when it's out, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, as a PC mod, console release is impossible for us, so the remaster presents a wonderful opportunity for console players to re-experience Oblivion. I will admit it is hard to play Oblivion these days without modding it because of how old it is. So there are at least some boons to a remaster. But unless you're willing to mod it, then...
I like how John Della Rose is like, Oblivion will always be the best.
I mean, Oblivion is a really good game.
Oh, it is probably a very good game. I'm not going to deny you that. I just like... Do we really need a remaster for people to really enjoy this game now?
I think... Okay.
Like, I'm serious. Do we really need a remaster?
No, we don't.
Okay.
I wish they would have remastered Oblivion or like remade Oblivion, not Oblivion. Morrowind. Morrowind deserves it way more than Oblivion. Morrowind, is very old now.
Okay.
Like, again, people could disagree with me on that statement, but
Chad, I already know what we're gonna watch during our 4th hour.
What?
Ethan Klein made an official response to the content cop. It's only 16 minutes, so we'll watch that once we're done with all the news.
Morrowind needs it. Okay. Yeah. All right. Fair enough. Anyway, we want to reemphasize that there is no need for comparisons or a sense of competition between Sky Oblivion and a potential official remaster. both projects can exist and thrive together, offering unique experiences for players. Sky Oblivion is a labor of love, built by a dedicated community for the community, offering a distinct way to revisit Oblivion within a familiar framework of the creation engine. Similarly, an official remaster would undoubtedly bring its own set of advancements with the full funding of a development studio. We see this not as a conflict, but as a fantastic opportunity for Elder Scrolls fans to have even more ways to enjoy the classic world of Cyrodiil. We extend our gratitude to our incredible community for their unwavering support, enthusiasm, and patience throughout our development journey. Your passion fuels our dedication, and we also want to cheer on the talented game developers at Virtuos and any other teams potentially involved in bringing an official Oblivion remaster to life. We recognize the immense effort and artistry that goes into such a significant undertaking. Ultimately, 2025 promises to be a remarkable year for Oblivion. For fans of Oblivion, we are confident that players will be the true winners, having the opportunity to experience both a community-driven reimagining and a professional, modern version of this beloved game. We look forward to sharing more about Sky Oblivion's progress soon as we approach its release later this year. Yes. And that's good. I like seeing devs not getting
Uppity.
about it, and they're like, hey, we could coexist. I'm down with coexisting. Great. Do we know who's making the Oblivion remake? We are pretty sure it's Virtuos. What have they done? What have they done? The Dune Awakening, New World, Eternum, Sea of Thieves, Stellar Blade, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Day of the Diver.
This is stuff they've worked on?
This is stuff they've worked on. It's some pretty high profile stuff, like good and bad.
Interesting.
But they have a pretty big catalog of games they've worked on. We got Nier Automata, League, Fortnite, BioShock. Yeah, okay. Yeah, they have a pretty good pedigree.
I agree.
And like Sea of Thieves runs great on PC. No. So chat, they are a porting studio. I think this might be one of their first times making a proper like game and not just porting.
That's interesting.
I don't know that for certain though, so don't quote me on that. But if like Rebirth runs pretty well on PC, I've been playing that lately. Sea of Thieves has been running on Grand PC for years. I would like to play Sea of Thieves again. It's been way too long. Stellar Blade comes out in June for PC. New World is New World.
Yes.
New World is New World. Halo Infinite runs really well on PC, at least what I've found. Sorry, did I say New World? I meant Halo Infinite. Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy runs pretty well on PC. So does Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. They also did they also worked on Demon Souls, the Demon Souls remake.
Okay.
Which was people found to be really good. So again, they have a pretty decent pedigree.
Yes, it does sound like that. I guess it's whether or not this is their first game they're actually working on.
I'm gonna say I don't know that for certain.
Okay.
But based on a lot of this, it's a lot of like ports or smaller titles.
Other game. Yeah.
Because it even says here like all these different games of like who the publishers, like 2K, Riot, Amazon, Microsoft, Rare, Shift Up. Also, their site is horribly designed.
Their website, it does kind of look like it struggles just a little bit.
They're also involved with Dark Souls Remastered.
They help out with a lot, it seems.
They
Holy
do.
cow.
So I think it's fair to say that they may actually end up doing Oblivion justice. We will see.
Uh-huh.
If I see Sweet Baby in here, I'm going to be a little upset.
I would not be surprised, sadly.
I mean, obviously they're working with companies that have worked with Sweet Baby, but I'm not seeing Sweet Baby in like their catalog.
No.
Okay. I mean, that's cool. If anything, chat, I think it's, even if people are skeptical about Oblivion Remastered, I think we should at least be giving it a closer look to see what... Judging this, haven't heard anything about any bad ports of those games, so yeah, let's see if they nail it. Exactly. So maybe they'll nail it. Maybe this will just be a genuinely good release for the year.
That's possible, yeah.
Oh, founded in 2004 and headquartered in Singapore with over 4,200 employees across 25 offices in Asia, Europe, and North America. Virtuos is one of the largest independent video game development companies specializing in full cycle game development and art production. We have delivered high quality content for over 1,500 games across all platforms, working with 23 of the top 25 gaming companies worldwide. So yeah, that's a very big pedigree.
And
So
again, what do they do? They help with porting,
they just seem to be in general just like
assisting with the game development.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So I don't know. We'll see. Again, yeah, we'll see. Lords of the Fallen. We can probably we can skim over Baldur's Gate. That's not like a big thing.
Yeah, we can skim over that a little quick.
But for Lords of the Fallen,
how many more things do we have?
It's this, and then you are free to run rampant.
Okay.
And then we'll be playing games on my side chat while Akko does that.
Well, yeah, and then after I talk about my thing, we're gonna react to the H3 Content Cop response. It's only 15 minutes. I imagine that'll eat up a decent chunk of time too.
Oh, absolutely. So, chat, for those who don't know, Lords of the Fallen had its recent 2.0 update. Which added Lords of the Fallen is a Souls-like, or Souls, yeah, it's a Souls-like experience. That recently, they actually came out and asked people, what would do they prefer, like type A, B, or male and female? And people voted almost unanimously male and female over they, them, or type A and B type pronouns. And they said, okay. Yeah. So they changed the whole game around using male and female pronouns specifically.
Which is good.
And people hated them for that. So now they got a 2.0 update out that adds full shared progression co-op. So both players now can save all mainline progress and can revive each other. Free Friends Pass, so invite any friend to play with you for free across any platform. So you can have someone that owns the game and someone that doesn't own the game, and they can still play the game with you.
Wait, how does that work?
Kind of like, you know, what is the, like, Split Fiction? We'll use Split Fiction as the most recent example.
Okay.
Refined combat and movement, so increase weapons responsiveness, improve lock-on, grievous strike prompts, and more. A dedicated jump button.
There wasn't one before.
No, it was very Dark Souls-like back then. Character creator, improve facial options, skin textures, and body shapes. So that on top of the pronoun stuff is interesting. Improve combat audio, UI overhaul, revamp tutorial, auto vigor, and lamp guidance. Quality of life updates, dynamic HUD, guidebook, faster soulflay, and enhanced evasions. So that was all that came out in the 2.0 update. That's a lot of stuff. And that was
yeah, that is quite a lot of
because, at least as far as we are aware, because of the character or the pronoun stuff that kickstarted it all. Because, and actually, from what I'm hearing, it jumped up to 10,000 players on Steam because of the 2.0 update.
Right.
So that's pretty big. But
And chat is asking if this is the game that got banned from their own subreddit.
yes, so that's what we're going into now. Lords of the Fallen subreddit has banned the developers of the game from posting on it, citing fascist ideology from the CEO of CI Games.
Oh, that is really funny.
The CEO of CI Games, Marek Tymiński, is actively supporting and promoting fascist ideology under the guise of catering to the player base. As a moderation team, along with many gamers worldwide, we are deeply shocked and disgusted by the events of the past few weeks. In response, we have removed all CI Games and Hexworks officials from the moderation team. However, we want to make it clear that those removed are honorable and decent individuals, and we have nothing but respect for them. Every interaction we've had with them since the game's launch has been nothing short of extraordinary. Unfortunately, this decision affects the wrong people. Our concerns are directed solely at the CEO, and at this time, no one else. Over the past several weeks and months, we have seen a significant increase in hate speech, misconduct, and violations of Reddit?
Violence. Reddit? Yeah, Reddit.
Is that like etiquette but Reddit?
Oh, that sounds so fucking retarded.
Whenever content from these platforms is shared, additionally, we have experienced an influx of users spreading fascist views, both on the subreddit and via mod mail. Let us be clear, we do not tolerate any violations of our behavioral rules, nor do we condone or support fascist ideology. Anyone engaging in such misconduct will face a permanent ban. You will find our subreddit's rules here or in the sidebar. Why are we banning these platforms? While the rise in misconduct related to X, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram is a key factor, there are additional reasons for this decision. X, Facebook, and Instagram now require a login to view content, making it inaccessible for those without accounts. The spread of misinformation, disinformation, and propaganda has significantly increased. These corporations have actively enabled fascism, removed fact-checking measures, censored certain keywords from search algorithms, and silenced communities while allowing harmful rhetoric to thrive. Ugh. We refuse to support platforms that profit from misinformation, hate speech, and incitement of violence. So you should get off Reddit then.
Yeah, Reddit is just a shitty place to be in general. I'm just...
Anyway, how will this work? Any direct link to X, Facebook, or Instagram, whether in posts or comments, will be automatically removed. What about screenshots from these platforms? After consideration, we have decided to not allow screenshots from these platforms, as verifying their authenticity is difficult. Cowards.
You don't say.
What's next? These new rules take effect immediately. Alternative to X, Blue Sky is a great alternative, and many users and outlets have already made the switch. If you have any suggestions for improving this process,
it is not.
Feel free to share them in the comments or via mod mail. Additionally, any moderators from other subreddits would like access to the auto moderator scripts we've written, we are happy to share them. Lords of the Fallen mod team, we would like to clarify that the developers have only been removed from the mod team. They're still welcome to post in the subreddit, including patch notes, AMAs, and engage in meaningful discourse with the community. This has already been communicated to them. As stated in the post, this decision is not about the developers, but concerns the CEO. Oh no, the boogeyman! The boogeyman did something we don't like. Cowards.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just kind of like a little tired right now, but like, yeah, this is just
absolute cowards. Anyway, chat, Lords of the Fallen is $20 in Steam. You should go buy it.
It's not that bad. Not bad at all.
No, it's not.
Honestly. Chat, thank you for 1,000 views on today's stream. If you have not yet liked the stream so we can potentially get to 100 likes. I very much appreciate that.
And chat, the same applies over on my stream. If you like the content I produce, greatly appreciate a like, subscribe, hitting the bell, all that fun stuff. And we are still trying to hit 500 subscribers over on Twitch. Not Twitch, YouTube.
Yes. Go follow Temp. go follow Dogwave. If a good chunk of you followed Temp right now, he'd be forced to play a scary horror game.
Yeah. So you guys should follow me. Because then you get to see me play spooky horror game.
Yeah.
Oh wait, that's my chat. I'm dumb. There you go, chat. Anyway, so that's mostly it. I do kind of want to go over the Baldur's Gate stuff real quick. It's not a lot.
Yeah, go right ahead.
Mostly
Right ahead.
Mold Dog. Oh no. Anyway, patch 8 is now live. There was a rumor about the patch notes is that it's over 40 pages or 19,000 words for the patch notes for patch 8. Yeah.
What did they include?
12 new subclasses, a photo mode, split screen on Xbox Series S, the modding toolkit update, bug fixes and improvement, and crossplay. Is Lords of the Fallen a good game? I've heard it's a fantastic game. I actually bought it. But yeah, so this update is basically, I would equate this update to probably like a $20 to $40 expansion.
You think so? Is this free or?
This is free. This is out now, and we can play this right now for free.
Oh man!
You just had to buy Baldur's Gate, which is also on sale, chat. I think it's like $48.
Yeah.
Wolfie, thanks for the sub. In fact, Larian actually responded by saying, you helped us make Baldur's Gate 3 a bigger success than we could have ever hoped for, and that passion could keep us tweaking things and making changes until the end of time. But then we'd never be able to create something new. Thank you from all of us at Larian Studios. So from this point onwards, Larian is doubling down on their new project, and they're done with Baldur's Gate 3, minus the occasional hot fix and bug fixes. But as of this moment, Baldur's Gate 3 is done and complete. But this sparked some other topics. And I read this on my stream. Probably, I think it was on Friday as well. Friday or Saturday. But basically, Larian Studios' Baldur's Gate 3 should be a massive turning point for the games industry. Although some veterans believe it won't be the game changer it should be, while Larian is now leaving the game behind after the release of patch 8, New Blood Interactive CEO Dave Oshry believes the game has left a mark that is changing the industry. Speaking on a new episode of the Quad Damage podcast, Oshry explained that we now live in a post-Baldur's Gate 3 world. Via Games Radar, the beloved indie publisher believes Larian's success should result in more deep-ass CRPG games. Larian has proven that people are not stupid, Oshry said on the podcast. They don't want dumbed-down RPGs, and that publishers can sell 50 million copies of a deep-ass CRPG that will take you fucking months to beat. Yes, he's very correct. Don't handhold your players, and give them just unlimited amounts of content that will keep them playing for hundreds upon hundreds of hours.
Mercenary, I see that you're freaking out. Don't worry about it. Chill, and if there's an issue, I don't know. But it looks like you're freaking out. Don't freak out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. Anyway, Oshry explained that companies like Microsoft should fund more CRPGs, using Pillars of Eternity 3 as an example. Obsidian's Pillars of Eternity series, this is the statement that got me wanting to read this article. I don't know if he said this or if this is because of the article. But they went on to say, which recently saw an awesome spin-off called Avow. It was not awesome, and it was a woke pile of horseshit. Was a spiritual successor to the original Baldur's Gate games, and Oshry knows that a third game would succeed. Microsoft should fund Pillars 3, he said Josh Sawyer really wants to do Pillars 3. While Larian is hard at work on its next RPG that will probably take us years to complete, the impact of BG3 is yet to really happen for the wider industry. Yes, Hasbro wants to make another Baldur's Gate game that continues to raise the bar without Larian, so they're not going to. That's the problem, is that Larian set the bar so high that it'd be nigh impossible for another dev team to compete. But will other game developers follow suit? That's the real question. While Larian has proven that gamers want games with real value instead of battle pass-filled, free-to-play games that jump on trends, however, the success of Larian doesn't mean that companies like EA, Activision, others will follow suit, which is unfortunate. Nevertheless, the Baldur's Gate 3 community itself is still going strong. As the game's official support ends, massive mod teams are creating custom campaigns that take players back to areas from the second game, and Larian has left players with a seemingly endless amount of content to chew through. Yeah, the fact that their final two updates basically pushed mods. Like, there's a mod manager built into the game. It's wild.
That is pretty wild, yeah.
And I agree. I want to see more CRPGs. I want to see more games that just push the boundaries of what they can do, and not in graphics. Can I get a link to this article? Yes.
Yeah, Temple put it in chat.
Here, I will put it in my chat, because that will bounce to Akka's chat. But yeah, that's all I had. Let me make sure before I let Akko off the leash. Yeah. Because I don't want to make Akko wait any longer. It is now entirely up to Akko what we talk about.
Let me get stretch here. One moment. Chat, it's stretch time, so.
Chat, what are we playing? I'm thinking we're going to do Isaac.
Give me like 2 minutes. I'll be right back, all right?
Yeah, who wants to see some Isaac? The only way to really come up with BG3 is if someone actually utilized generative AI to make a truly unique and interactive RPG. I know it would be finicky, but that's really is the next step. No, yeah.
Pictures and playing with his toys as his mom watched Christian broadcasts on the television.
Finally, Dog Isaac. Yeah! So, because Akko will have other stuff to talk about, we're going to do gaming on my side and let Akko go nuts. Great Easter game, by the way. Yeah, exactly. Oh, no. Well, maybe not. Oh no. We'll see.
Okay. Sorry about that. I am like very tired.
Do you want to hold off on this topic then, or?
No. Well, I still need to stream for about another hour and a half. So we're gonna talk about this. We're gonna watch the content cop, and then I'm gonna go to bed. This subject's gonna be a little sensitive for me because of just who it's about.
Yes.
I kind of talked about this last night. And I was planning to be a certain way tonight. I'm not going to be as hard, but I feel like tonight's subject is just kind of a little sensitive.
Let me pull up Akko's thing, chat.
Tonight's just gonna be a little sensitive, just because it's an interesting one. Very interesting. Hold on a moment. I wanna. I want to preface this by saying that I don't know if I could do any of this justice because of the conversation I had before the stream went live. So I will tell you, I'll do the best I can. We're going to be talking about an old Let's Player on the internet that has recently come out with an announcement. And they have said some things during a live stream, and then I asked them some questions after said live stream. Had what I consider to be a productive conversation. For those that don't know, there is a guy on the internet. I guess they don't consider themselves a guy anymore, but there is a person on the internet. Their name is ProtonJon. They have said that they're gonna go by ProtonJon for a little bit longer. And they have been on the internet for a long time. Like, oh, let me see if I can pull up their channel. I'm going to pull up their YouTube channel because their YouTube channel, while it might not have the oldest videos that they had. Oh, do they not? Oh, wait, hold on. Yep, there's their channel. There's the channel. Okay. Their oldest videos are 17 years ago.
Yeah.
I'm going to bring this on to the screen for you, chat. Okay? Bring this onto the screen for you. This is the chat. This individual's channel is, I'm pretty sure this channel is over 2 decades old. Okay? This channel is 2 decades old. I remember as a child watching these videos, all right? ProtonJon is like one of the reasons why I decided that I wanted to be a content creator. And they are one of the individuals that inspired me to get to kind of like do stuff on the internet. And they kind of have like a history. And I am going to say right now that if anybody around John sees this, or if John sees this, I'm going to try my best not to be mean. I'm just going to be as objective as possible, based off of my observance on the internet. I am going to avoid ad hominems because I do respect John as an individual. They are somebody that, again, I have loved for a long time, and I've enjoyed a lot of what they do. Some of their favorite stuff that I did, or that they did, that they played, was their knit stories. That's like one of my favorite videos here is Don't Eat the Mushroom. That's one of my favorite ones. And then all of their Mario Kaizo stuff that they did, those were all really good as well. I think some of those videos unfortunately don't exist anymore. I think some of them were removed, or John removed them. I can't remember. But some of my favorite content. And so John's been around for a while. They started out kind of just doing random stuff. Not only do they run this YouTube channel, they also run a channel called The Runaway Guys, which is comprised of them, Emil, which is Chugga Conroy, and then Nintendo Capri Sun. I don't actually know Nintendo Capri Sun's first name, so
Tim.
Is it Tim? Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and Tim from Nintendo Capri Sun. All of them come together and form the Runaway Guys, and they occasionally have other individuals as well on it. Sometimes other dudes, sometimes other females, which, considering the change that happened, I don't think the Runaway Guys is probably going to change. Just saying. But they made content for quite a while back when they were in college. I actually remember, like, during the era where they made these videos, they were in university, I believe, for some sort of computer degree. It's been a while, so I don't remember. and a lot of their content actually comes from them when they were a live streamer. I know that like in more recent years, I think for at least over a decade, they've been a streamer over on Twitch, and they play a lot of Twitch games, and it is what it is. But like, they are considered to be, in my opinion, they are my favorite runaway guy. Like out of all three of them, Emil was annoying and funny. Tim was quiet and soft, but John was like the smart guy. He was the guy that was angry, but he was also smart, and he also was the guy that always had I was kind of just the level head, whereas Tim was just the quiet one watching the chaos unfold, and Emil was the autistic one in the corner making John upset all the time. And that's why you love them, is because they were all three incredibly different people.
What's funny is you could describe like the relationship between John and Emil with me and Akko.
Kind of. You're not as you don't get as upset with me as John does. I would say that Malice is more of a John.
That's fair.
And you're more of a Tim, I would say. I'm not astral projecting any of these people's problems onto us, by the way. I'm just making short comparisons. Although I guess technically Dom could be considered Emil as well. I don't know. Anyway, Emil was luck-based and Tim was the underdog. This is very true.
Yes.
This is very, very true. But anyway, all that to just kind of like give you guys some preamble that I know these, I don't know them personally, but I know these people. I've seen their journeys on YouTube, and I've seen how they have grown and how they have had life kind of happen to them. I wish I brought up the stream. Thank God you threw it in the...
Yeah, I found it.
Thank God you found the stream for me, because it would have been kind of a nightmare if you didn't. So all of these guys were relatively with zero drama, period, for like almost the last 20 years. You had ProtonJon that just did their stuff on their Twitch, and occasionally you would see videos uploaded on their YouTube channel. In fact, I will say that for the most part, their YouTube channel has remained mostly like dead. Or not like dead, but like their YouTube channel has been, for the most part, without videos on it consistently, period. Like their most recent stuff, I don't know if like they've deleted it. Since I don't watch a lot of their uploads anymore, I haven't really paid attention to it. But their most recent stuff was 3 years ago. Yeah. And so, they have their stuff in here. It looks like at one point they wanted to try and do another Metroid series, which is pretty good. But like they don't upload a lot. A lot of their content either takes place on the Runaway Guys or on their streaming platforms. But within the last couple of years, this trio of gentlemen has had like some big changes, and it all centers around Emil Conroy when and I'm going to butcher this because I don't recall everything that came out, so I'm just going to give very surface level things that happened. Emil had some things happen where a content creator on the internet named Lady Emily, who I will say right here, right now, I do not like Lady Emily. I think that Lady Emily has done some pretty stupid shit, lying about Emil and taking things out of context with Emil, to the point where I will always feel like they are disingenuous. Sorry to anybody that sees this. If you like Lady Emily, I don't, and I never will. Because the moment you lie about an individual and the moment that you use like the vulnerabilities of another individual to lie about them, especially somebody that I know struggles with all his own personal things in his life, fuck you. Fuck you. And I'm not going to bring anything up about like Lady Emily's like personal life or who they are as an individual or whatever. But like, fuck you, Lady Emily. I don't like you whatsoever. Because you've like taken a chunk out of a guy who, in my personal opinion, did not really deserve it. So they made false allegations against him. They didn't really stick because a lot of people looked at what Lady Emily was trying to do and said, well, hang on a moment. A lot of this was really consensual. This is kind of scummy of you to do. And then Lady Emily just kind of sunk back into the ether. As far as I know, Lady Emily still creates content to this day. They have been mostly unaffected by this because the mob mentality likes to believe that if a victim comes out, even if they are wrong, most people will just let it go. But I don't like Lady Emily, and I never will like Lady Emily, and it's just disgusting. But that's not the point. Besides the accusations of Lady Emily, other stuff came out from some other people. One of the things that came out was that Emil did very cringy roleplay on a very old anime web forum, and the person that he was role-playing with was underage, and I can't remember like specifics, but it was either that he was overage or like he was just barely overage or he wasn't overage, but like a lot of people were really freaked out that like he might have been a potential predator and all that kind of stuff, and there was a lot of smoke around it. There was a whole lot of smoke around it for that reason, and everybody thought that Emil was like done on the internet forever, and then he went dark, and later down the line there was some things that was exonerated, and there was some things that was like passed through, and for the most part at the end of this, Emil had like gone to some sort of rehab. Again, this is over a year ago, so I don't remember all of these details.
I'm actually going to double down on that. Lately he's been doing his Twilight Princess Let's Play, and he actually mentioned that he had a bit of a break between like one scene and another, and he mentioned that he had just gotten back from therapy, so he's still doing therapy from this whole thing.
Hey, perfect. Great. I'm a big advocate for if you need help, go to therapy. If I could afford therapy right now, I would definitely go to therapy because there's some things that that I'm struggling. Chad, I had a breakdown 6 months ago. I'm still struggling with some of the repercussions of that. If I could go to therapy and talk about it with a professional, I would, because I don't have a professional I can talk to for free. But like, so yeah, I'm a big proponent of that. But yeah, Emil basically like went through the ringer and kind of pseudo recovered from that. But the individuals that were kind of in the middle of this, that kind of were looked at the most, was ProtonJon and the Nintendo Capri Sun. So Tim and John. From the offset, and again, people can correct me, I know that John was very standoffish about this. And I'm not going to armchair like I am going to give my opinion, but I'm not going to say this is accurate because people can come in and correct me, and I can offer retraction if possible. But John and Chugga's relationship has always been kind of wonky because it's always been the annoying guy or the guy that's very loud. And I say that as a guy who knows that they are annoying. So like I sympathize with Chugga a lot because I'm looked at as the annoying guy too, and I know that's kind of how some people around him see him, and I sympathize with that. But it's like you had the annoying guy or just the very loud guy, and then you had the very calm. I don't want to say calculated because John's not calm and calculated. John is calm and smart. You had the calm smart guy, and then you had the loud crazy guy, and they don't really mesh that well. And they didn't like it wasn't that they were at odds with each other, but it was always just like they were always kind of like just poking at each other, and a lot of people, myself included, always looked at it as maybe like they didn't like each other as much behind the scenes. I had always kind of thought of it like the classic Game Grumps where when JonTron left and everybody wondered why he had left and all that kind of shit. And I had always kind of looked at it like they had always kind of just like had something that was going on behind the scenes with each other. And when all this happened, a lot of people kind of started to think the same thing, because John was very, very, very standoffish about this, and he had made some statements, and because I can't remember them, I'm not going to say any of those statements, but it basically was just like out of Tim and John was like the most standoffish and the most direct with everything. And then when Chugga started to repair and get things better, it seemed like things were starting to repair and all that kind of stuff. And things were repairing. John once said that he and Emil were best bros. Guaranteed that was probably 10 years ago. Hey, again, like I said, like it was always, in my personal opinion, when I watched them together on Runaway Guys, they had always picked at each other. And in my head, again, this is my young-minded head, my thought process was always, oh, they pick at each other. Maybe there's some poking behind the scenes that we don't know about. I don't know. Here, I'm gonna bring up a picture of them, because I want to get a decent picture of them together. It's a good picture of them together. I'm sure that this is a picture that both of them like with each other. I don't know. This is a very young John and ProtonJon and Chugga Conroy. Very young. Holy shit. This is probably like over a decade ago. I have absolutely no idea. I'm sure that if you show this to either of them, they'll have some nostalgia. It's just an autistic detail. Yeah. So it's just like both of these guys like poked at each other, and it was fine because people found it entertaining and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, when this guy has his crash out and he takes a break to go to therapy, this guy is basically very, very standoffish and timid. He doesn't talk about it a whole lot. He had already given his statements, and when this guy repairs, this guy is kind of just like again, still kind of standoffish about it and all that kind of stuff.
Real quick, the button, Razorwind, thank you for the raid. Chat, what were y'all doing tonight?
Welcome. Sorry, I'm in the middle of a story. I don't want to like
No, you're good.
I don't want to like break too much from it. But yeah, like so this guy is getting better, and John is still slightly standoffish about it. Because I haven't really paid attention to the Runaway Guys now, because I've just kind of fell out of love with watching the Runaway Guys. I don't really know how the dynamic is between them now. I assume, based off of the fact that he got better, that he decided that he could be let back into his life. Because I know that when he was suffering, I think that John was kind of like worried that he would have to kind of like disassociate a little bit, and that was really sad because I think a lot of people were kind of sad about that. But I believe that these two are working things out in their own way. And again, I'm only saying this as somebody who is, again, as an internet reporter. I kind of pseudo said this to John when I talked to them on Twitter. As a reporter, my job is to seek the truth, and if people need me to correct something, if the record needs to be corrected or whatever, I will gladly do that. But from the outside looking in, it looked like there is just some weird schism between these two. Okay, all of this to kind of just like get to the now. All right, I got to get to the now so that I can discuss things here. All right, so in between all of this, John, all right, this gentleman right here had decided to starting a separate persona that I think Temp noticed. I think you noticed this first and you kind of brought it up to my attention. And it was kind of a silly little thing that John kind of did because, and I'll be honest with you, I kind of dig the vibe with it because he decided to start this little persona called ProtonJon, which is basically just like a female version of ProtonJon, but it looks a lot like
Rosalina.
Sorry, my brain just died there from Rosalina. And there was a lot of like silliness that went into this. Not only did it include him eventually getting a VTuber model, because he did get a VTuber model. I'm gonna show a picture of the VTuber model here. I guess I'll show a couple pictures as well. So this is the ProtonJon VTuber model. I feel like he's trying to compete with biggest tits here, and I know that his wife has a VTuber model that has big. I don't know if he's trying to compete with his wife here, but very big, very, very big. I feel like I've got some competition.
I do appreciate the big.
I do too. I think a lot of people will. I think a lot of people do as well. So he got a VTuber model, but not only did he get a VTuber model, that's a very blurry picture. It's a very uncharitable picture because of how blurry it is, but that works. He decided to cosplay as Rosalina.
Akko, did you not see the video I posted?
You posted the video, but I feel like the pictures are good enough.
Okay.
Like I don't want to parse through a multi-hour stream just to find the clips where he's getting.
There was a 2-minute video.
I posted. Oh, that might be better. That might be better, right?
I don't know if you can see it. It's in our docket.
Hold on. That's a better looking picture right there. Okay,
yeah.
There we go. Okay, so this was actually the cosplay, and it's very silly. And I know, and here's the thing. I know a lot of guys do this. Trust me, if I feel like I could pull off the female look with some makeup, I've tried for fun, and I don't think I would pull it off. I'm not gonna make any comments about that with John, but like, John does the cosplay, and it's that, and it's there, and it's everything. So all of this is going on, and behind the scenes, I wouldn't say that I started to worry, but I did start to wonder. And when I say that, how do I say this? I'll say it like this. Okay, so I actually mentioned this in the thread I have with John as well, because I did talk with John a little bit. Because of my previous experiences, because I used to have gender dysphoria, because I grew up with the unique problems I do, I can look at things that people do on the internet, and I can say that looks like a, I wouldn't say red flag, but that is just a flag of notice, I guess, to me. So, like, if I see a guy on the internet start to do a bunch of these different things all in a row, it starts to make me wonder if there is something going on under the hood, basically. Like, if I, like, here's the thing. I am not dysphoric anymore, but I still have a female model. I use a voice changer because, you know, I can work it, I can fit it. And people are allowed to get to feel like I might be trans. That, even though I'm not, and I never will identify as trans, people are allowed to, for whatever reason, think that because of the fact that I fulfill some of those flags that I would look at in other people. So when I look at John and I see that he's got a female persona, which very base level, if dudes have a female persona, 9 times out of 10 it's just because they want something to fuck. They want something to imagine dumb to fuck. Like Temp has a bunch of female personas that he likes to play around with, and that's not a red flag.
I just like the big titties, Jen. I'm sorry.
Exactly. And when John started doing the whole Rosa John thing, that's exactly what I thought of it as. But then it added on to another layer, where he cosplayed. He cosplayed as it, and it's just like, you know what? Would I do that? Yeah, probably, if I could get away with it. But again, that's just another thing that that's just another layer to be added on top. And then he got a female VTuber model, which, again, I've done that, so I can only be as noticing as to my own experiences. And when I started seeing all these things pop one after the other, I started to wonder if there was something else going on. And last night, one of my people informed me that I was basically right. Now, and again, I don't say this in like a derogatory way. I say this as I remember when I saw the VTuber model. When was this? This was October 31st. Yeah, this was October. This was in October, chat. In October, when Temp showed, because I think you were the one who brought this up to me. I think.
Maybe.
I think. When Temp brought this up to me, I immediately started to like think to myself, okay, I have all these other things that I've seen, and now there's this. What's going on? And again, I'm not trying to be mean when I say this. As somebody who's grown up with these experiences, who's talked to people with these experiences, who's seen people with these experiences, I look at this and say, there's something else going on. Okay? And last night, I was proven correct. Last night, ProtonJon had a live stream where they basically come out of the closet, so to speak, and they revealed that they were on. I can't remember. I didn't watch it because I was in the middle of the content cop, and it's on Twitch. And fuck Twitch. I really hate Twitch. So you know, if there's ever any highlights for it posted, great. But they basically revealed that they were trans, and that they had changed their name. I'm going to be honest with you, because it was only mentioned on stream, and I haven't really looked on their page a whole lot.
They said Claire.
Is it Claire? Okay. I will say right now, that is way more inventive than some of the other trans names I see people use, and that. Minor dig, not transphobic, minor dig. Some dudes that decide to become girls don't know how to get good names. All right, I'm sorry. Like I have seen so many trans people go with like very dumb names that are play-ons of their own names, or they will choose succubus names or goddess names, and it's just like, broski, like you got to be more inventive than that. Okay, like this is the name you're choosing for the rest of your fucking life, and you're choosing like something dumb. But Claire is, in my personal opinion, just a little bit more inventive. Claire is one of John's dream girls. I don't know what that means. This sounds like Jim Sterling. Oh gosh.
He kind of does.
I'm not going to talk about Jim Sterling. I hope that, listen, I am going to give this the best faith possible. All right. What does Luca Jin feel about this? We'll get into that because John actually posted her thoughts about it. And again, John, if you see this, I don't mean any malice towards you, but this is something that you probably shouldn't have said. Like, because the dynamic between you and your wife should not be broadcasted on the internet, because there are like, listen, if I had less respect, I would be reaming it. But because I have respect, I am going to be as nice as I can. Okay? All right? I am just trying to be as good faith as possible here. All right? Just putting that out there. It wasn't Lilith or Lily. Exactly. Because John decided to choose a normal sounding name like Claire and not Lilith, like, I ultimately like feel like there was some more thought on it. Just saying. There was the Twitch VODs on John's live stream channel. Okay, we don't really need to watch it again. Like, there's really no need for me to bring it up or watch it. In my personal opinion, there's not much. There's nothing really in my personal opinion. And so where was I going with this? Anyway, so this all happens. And I'm going to be honest with you. It did take me for quite a big shock because, at first it came out at me at left field. And I will be honest, I was immediately kind of worried and ticked off. Because I was under the assumption, because again, John is not like, again, John was in college when I was a teenager, all right? I'm in my 20s now, so John is not like a young guy anymore. Most people that I see go trans these days are kids that become adults and then do it. And for John to be, let's see, he was probably like 20s, mid-20s when he was in college. I don't actually know it. I don't know the names, or not the names, the ages. But I had assumed, because he was in his 30s, I had assumed the worst, which, probably isn't the nicest thing for me. But, I will just say I was in the middle of watching the fucking content cop that made me want to walk away and rage quit the internet last night. Cut me some slack, all right? I was already upset. I was pissed, and then this came up. But I had immediately assumed that seeing this, that there was some deeper shit going on. And I think I was way more uncharitable than I should have been, and I do apologize about that. But I had immediately wondered if there was some sort of grooming going on from any source out there in the world. I had assumed that there was some sort of grooming going on, either from the internet or from, again, the wife, or from any other individual in his life. I had assumed that had gone on, and I was just immediately like, well, fuck. I really like this guy. I like his content. I've supported him for multiple years, and now I worried that I just lost somebody. And I feel like it's just going to be like every other thing, It's personal. Okay. Saying it's personal sounds extremely gay and dumb, because it's not. John is a content creator on the internet, just like I am. All right? The parasocialness that I have for John, gonna be honest with you, it's kind of dumb. All right? I like John, and I like the nostalgia I have for all of the classic things that I watched. Okay? And it's not really fair for me to project that onto somebody that is allowed to do whatever they want in life. Even if I might worry why it's being done, it's not really my job to project that. Okay? But I was curious to figure out why this happened. And so I knew that I wanted to talk about this. because I wanted to devote some more time to this. So I decided that I was going to pull up something, and we were going to talk about this. But I decided midway through my work day that I knew that John often replied to people, often talked to people on Twitter, because he had in the past replied to me back before I was a VTuber. So I was like, okay, long shot, we're gonna go for a 3-pointer here. We're gonna see if I can ask a question in good faith. In my personal opinion, it was the best faith question I felt like I could ask, and we're gonna see if we can get some more knowledge, because I was curious to see if we could get some more info on just why everything was happening. And the conversation definitely was, in my personal opinion, I thought it was all right. And we're going to go through that now. Then we're going to talk about some other stuff. And again, I feel like what I will say again is that I will give as much respect as I can for the content creator that I grew up with. I will also say that because I am a drama reporter and because I am somebody that likes to report things as I see them, I will say what I see based off of how I feel like some of the internet will interpret it. People are allowed to get mad or offended by that. I am just saying how I see it. I am apologizing in advance if it's offensive, but that's just how I see it. And, you know, you can think I'm wrong or whatever, but, you know, it's just like the thing I'm pushing out there. Okay? Just pushing out there. Yeah. So, I say, hey, ProtonJon, long-time fan of your old content. I fell massively in love with you during the Mario Hack series and enjoyed your Superman 64 series, which, again, I still, like, as recently as last year, listened to the some of his old Mario Hack series and some of his Superman 64 series. That's how much I really enjoyed listening to this guy. Okay? That's just, like, there's a lot of shit content, and sometimes I like to go back to the old stuff. This is one of the guys I went back to. Okay? I say, I didn't get a chance to watch you last night because I was live myself. But I was curious on asking you about how long you knew, ! In regards to him knowing he was trans. I myself have been through my own challenges mostly as a teen and had gender dysphoria that I had to work through. I'm always curious on other people's journeys and seeing how life changed them. Very curious. Again, love your stuff. Happy to see TRG still chugging along. Now, I will say, this is a bit of a joke towards Chugga Conroy, because I'm going to make a silly little joke if I can to make it as lighthearted as possible. You know. So he replies. In the way that I did not expect. Let me explain why. I did talk about ProtonJon when the Emil stuff was going on, because there was a statement in a video that he made, and I was giving some critique over it. I did not name the video after him. I put him in the thumbnail, but the video was not named after him. His name was not mentioned in it. So in my head, I was like, how did you even find this? Because nobody watched this stream. Like, the stream had like less than 800 views. I'm going to imagine that somebody in the ethersphere might have sent it to him. I have absolutely no idea. But, like, somehow he found the stream. And I think that bewildered me more than anything. And he said, Occo, I saw your stream last year about how poorly I handled everything that happened, so save me the trouble. Bait or genuine question? I'm going to be honest with you. It was a genuine question. But in that moment, I was thinking to myself, okay, the gremlin cannot come out. This needs to be genuine, because I actually want a genuine conversation. Because I actually want to learn some stuff here. And if I'm a gremlin, I won't get the answers I want. So we're going to put that away for a moment and see if we can actually get something going on here. Okay? So we're going to put away the gremlin and bring out the yippee instead. That makes sense. And then I say, to be honest, I do recall being very critical of the situation, but without re-listening to it in a while, I can't say I agree or disagree with everything I did say in regards to your friendship. I did re-listen to it tonight. I would say that for the most part, I would be okay with my critique. Because again, my critique is just like my critique of the video that I criticized is if I could sum it up in 1 or 2 sentences, it was you're making way more things public than need to be, so shut up. And this is kind of a shitty video to make when Chugga is on the mend. And so I'm sure that like if I sat down and reacted to it again, there's some other things that I could show. But my main criticism was just, why are you saying this out in public? The internet does not need to hear this. This is a private situation between you and Emil and the people around Emil, and I don't feel like this needs to be broadcast. Temp, are you still alive, by the way?
Yes.
Okay, you just didn't move, so I was curious.
No, yeah, I'm live. I'm just letting you talk.
No, you're good. And again, I guess he saw that and I don't know if he was happy or mad with it, but like, I guess I'm one of the few people that talked about it. So, you know, there you go. And I do plan to like upload this as a video as well. Just again, because I felt like I like putting my thoughts and opinions out on the internet. People like them, people hate them, you know, it's whatever. I believe in being critical and being good faith. The dog is winning. Well, that's good. Especially given Chugga contemplated Sudoku. Yeah, like we're not gonna get into that. We're not gonna get into that previous stuff. All I'm gonna say is when I looked at the video, I was like, okay, you don't need to make this public. And this is my big advice. Like, okay, as an aside, this is my big advice for every content creator on the internet. You don't need to make everything public. Like, legitimately. Like, because again, I tell people, when or if I get a girlfriend, or even if I already do, guess what? You'll never know. You'll never even know if I get married, because that's not your business on the internet. And if I do get a girlfriend, I don't want her to be exposed to the internet. I already get enough shit from people on both sides of the spectrum. 1, because I'm not paused enough, and 2, because I'm not like right-leaning enough. And so I already got both sides that are upset at me. I don't want the potential future girlfriend to be withholden to that. So I don't put shit on the internet that I don't need to. And so my biggest criticism to all kinds of content creators is don't talk about this. Don't air this out on the internet. If people ask, you tell them it is a private matter and you are not going to talk about it. If I understand that people are asking about Emil, but you just tell them he's on the mend, I really don't want to talk about it. And then you move on. That was my critique in 1 or 2 sentences. So, anyway, just putting that out there. We will know because your behavior will change. Yes. Continuing on here. Excuse me. Ava's the girlfriend? Nah. No. I bring her on a lot, but I brought Mizu on a lot a couple of months ago, and I bring Temp on a lot as well. So, no.
That were all the girlfriends.
Exactly. Temp is the girlfriend. Oh gosh. Speaking of which, I'm not gonna say who, I'm not gonna say what, but somebody asked me if they could do fan art of Akko and
yeah.
Jaw, and I told them I don't care. I will not acknowledge. I don't acknowledge fan art if it's not safe for work, but I don't care.
Yep. Same.
Anyway, this is getting off topic here, but I continue on by saying, I am being genuine. I had dysphoria. I had to go to a therapist for a few months and figure out why I hated myself so much. I think, contrary to what some people think, I try to have a sympathetic look on people that are trans due to my experiences, and I try to learn what leads people to this, mostly because this is a permanent and life-changing... What leads to... Oh, I see. See, this is me. I rewrote this sentence, and I rewrote it bad. For me, it was the hatred of my body and myself compounded by family issues and puberty. That's all. Side note, I seek to publish the truth, so if I said anything wrong, you're more than welcome to correct it. So, and what's funny is for a moment I thought that this was like part 1 of something, so I waited like 10 minutes before I replied. John replies by saying, if you're being genuine, then I will too. 4 years ago, realized something didn't add up, and when John says 4 years ago, this kind of fits. I don't remember how long ago Rosa John was introduced. I know that it was at least 2, maybe 3 years ago that ProtonJon kind of like came into the limelight as like a silly little thing that people were making fan art of. But him saying 4 years fits, in my personal opinion.
Yeah.
So I believe this. Okay, I believe this. Okay. He continues on saying realized something didn't add up right. Kept the topic close to friends, therapists, and loved ones only because if I said anything publicly, people would think chat tried to force trans me, which wasn't the case. Now, he was this... Again, John's smart. All right? I do think that John is a smart individual. Okay? ProtonJon was 7 years ago. Oh, was it really that long ago? Okay, then I'm wrong. I'm wrong. Like I said, I watched a lot of the classic stuff. I didn't really catch up on the streams as much as I wanted to. If it was 7... Yeah, you know what? If it was 7 years ago, that's a different story. I don't know. But John is basically saying that 4 years ago is when all of this kind of started, but he didn't tell anybody. The only person that the people that knew were close friends, therapists, and loved ones. So I'm going to assume that potentially some of the runaway guys knew. Some of his, obviously his therapists knew, which is good. Good. Glad you went to talk about this with a professional instead of just going on the internet. All right, that eases some of my concerns and some of my burdens, and loved ones only. So I'm going to assume he talked about this with his wife as well. And I am appreciative that that he kept this close to the heart, specifically because he didn't want to make people think that his chat groomed him, which it is really quite sad. That is a worry you have to have. That is quite sad of a thing. But I understand that because I have seen, like, here's the thing that pisses me off. All right. If you want to change your gender, all right, I'm gonna be a little bit gross here for a moment. All right. But this is just how I think about things. This is how I cope with my own gender dysphoria. Like, when I have bad thoughts, my cope is literally just this. If you want to hack off your bits and add new bits, go right ahead. All right. If you think and you've confirmed that it will make you happier, knowing all of the things that will go into it, all of the bizarre things that are going to change for the rest of your life. Again, these are things that I had to think through when I was a teenager. All right. All of the medication that you'd be stuck on for the rest of your life, all of the potential issues that you could have, if that is okay with you, if you believe it will make you better, then I wish the best for you. Legitimate, like 100% legitimately. I said this to Niara when I had Niara on stream, and I say this to everybody. I know a couple of friends that are trans behind the scenes. Some of them are happy, some of them are sad. Not going to say who they are because I don't want them to get attacked, but like I know some of these people that have gone through these situations, and I myself almost went through this. So like my thought and opinion is if the internet didn't do it and you actually went to a therapist, you actually know every single thing, then it's a little bit different for me. You know? ProtonJon was a thing. He started keeping a dream journal, having a section of his stream telling his chat about dreams. I'm going to be honest with you. I will not do that because my dreams can sometimes have very personal, private information. And I'm going to be honest with you because I used to be security guard. I have dreams where I get shot a lot, so I don't really like talking about those. Those are some hardcore things where I wake up and I literally am terrified to go back to bed. But anyway, I really don't care about that. I really don't care about that. Anyway, so this is one of those things where take it with a grain of salt, take it however you want it. If you believe this to be the case, then my personal opinion is, if John wants to do this, and this is how it works, this is him, then fine, go right ahead. I, again, as somebody who has gone through very extensive research, very extensive time spent talking to therapists, people that loved it, people that hated it and regretted it, and, you know, all kinds of the spectrum. If you know all the risks and you're willing to take it anyway, I wish you the best. You know, that's kind of my, That's kind of my thing, you know. I've had dreams. Yes, chat. Like I said, I used to be a security guard. I've never actually had a gun pulled on me, but I've had very vivid dreams where I've had to use my firearm, and I've had very vivid dreams where I've had some scary things happen to me. Again, I'm not going to talk about them tonight. Those are things that I gotta work out on my own. But with all this in mind, it's just like, okay, fine. Your body, your choice. You do whatever you'd like. As long as you're happy, I'm happy. Basically, kind of thing. So with that in mind, this is how I reply. I can definitely see how people would think that nowadays with the egg cracking culture, which frustrates me. I will be honest, when I first heard this, that was my initial worry. I've seen plenty of creators today where I feel based on my study, they were groomed by their audiences. If you say this isn't the case, I'll take your word for it because I legitimately have no evidence to suggest that it is the opposite. So I'm just gonna, you know, take the word for it. I will say that if I didn't know John, didn't know the internet persona, if I didn't like have respect for John, and I didn't like feel like I already had an understanding with John, it would be a little bit different. But because I already know John, I'm just gonna take his word for it and hope that it's better for him. That, again, life is fine. I continue saying, I imagine you've had plenty of time to come to terms with your choice, and if you did go through therapy and talks for 4 years, I pray your choice is one you find peace in. Has it at least solved this quote-unquote adding up you've talked about? And he replied, now this is a very interesting reply. It actually gives me a little bit more security listening to this. They say, that's fair. I've had people in my community worried about that too. That's why I worked on myself in private so people wouldn't realize it was the case. Yeah, it helps make things add up. Explaining feelings from childhood onwards, it hasn't been easy, but it's felt right. And again, I understand what not feel easy is. So again, when I say John is smart, this is smart, not just running out there the day that you jump on HRT and saying that I'm going on it. Now I don't really know how far along he is, but I'm glad that this is something that he didn't decide to publicize. Like most other people on the internet that would, I'm glad that there's a little bit more pander into it. And then I say I'm obviously not going to beg people to talk through their childhood issues because God knows I share enough of mine already. But if you ever want to talk about it in an open, man, I really was. This is before stream. So if you want to talk about an open-minded field with a schooled life coach, myself, I'm definitely open to hearing and listening. Thanks for your input. I hope it works out for you. I've had a fair share of friends who came to me that have all gone the way. Some are good, others sad. I pray you find happiness for the rest of your life. And he says, thank you for the offer. I appreciate it. Same with the honest talk. I know it likely wasn't what you wanted to hear, but it was nice to be able to have this. Hope for the best for you. So, what I was hoping for, I kind of got. Because my thought process was, best case scenario, this is something that has taken multiple years for them to choose. And again, my worst case fear, which is not what I wanted to hear, is him basically like talking about how his chat convinced him to do it. We would be having a very different conversation if that was the case. But because of how the conversation went, I respond by saying, I think what I wanted to hear is making sure you're not another egg. I'd honestly be more upset thinking that my personal favorite TRG member made choices because the internet convinced them. So this is honestly better than I was expecting. And I think that's it. Oh no, never mind. There is one more right here. He says, to tell you the truth, after I decided and started, some of the most fun I had was just fucking with people who tried that stuff by just pretending I wasn't. So some things truly don't change. Now, I'm not quite sure if he's saying by he fucked with people that tried to quote unquote crack the egg. If that's true, you know what? I can laugh at that just a little bit. But I feel like it ended on a good note, in my personal opinion. So I felt like it was productive. I felt like this was a good conversation. I think that the initial fears I had last night are definitely way different. And yeah, no, for sure. I think this is that it's definitely a lot different of an out. Again, obviously, like, you know, when it comes to people being trans, as somebody who was on that edge as a teenager and didn't take it, I'm going to look at people critically and say, do you know for a and like legitimately, I believe that people should be under intense scrutiny when it comes to life, and I'm talking about permanent life altering surgeries for this kind of thing. And if people have gone through therapy, if they've gone through all of the studies, if they've gone through all the stuff, if it is what it is, and at the end of the day, they believe this is the best choice for them, they're a consenting adult, they have the money to pay for it, you know, X, Y, and Z. Okay, cool. You know, I may, I know that I have some religious disagreements, but that doesn't matter. I know that I may have some personal disagreements because of my own life, and I may have some disagreements based off of how I've seen friends and how their life has changed. But at the end of the day, if this is what you believe the best choice is for you and you're 110% in it, I pray you don't regret it. You know? I'm going to regret this, but what is the egg term? So the egg term, cracking the egg, is a term that trans people use on the internet to basically represent getting a person that is considering being trans or might be in the closet for being trans to open out, basically, to come out of the closet, essentially, with becoming a trans individual. It is very disgusting, very grooming-like behavior. There are people that get off to it. I did a stream on an individual in the past that got off to it. In fact, I'll show it off. There was an individual... Oh, fuck, hold on. They're a VTuber, actually. They were a VTuber that was friends with some pretty big VTubers, which was bizarre to me, that had videos where they came out and said that they liked to crack eggs. And the thing that sucks is some people said that they were joking. Some people think that they were serious. I personally think that they were serious to an extreme degree, which is why I took them seriously when they did it. And so because of that, I legitimately got freaked out and decided to report on it. Oh, let's see if I can find it. I believe this was before... Was it before? I believe it was after I moved. It was when I had met... Fuck. I believe it was when I was at my old job. It was after that. Oh, if I can't... I'm going to give one more brief look over. If I can't find it, I can't find it. I am thinking that I can't find it. Where was my first... It was my first time talking to Amalgamate. I can't find it. I can't find it, so I am gonna say... Yeah, I can't find it. I'm sorry. I'm gonna say that I will probably look for it later. Maybe I'll flash a thumbnail up on screen, but yeah, there are people that get off to cracking eggs, which is, again, whenever I see a internet figure... Wasn't that Amalgamate, the first Amalgamate stream? Yes, it was. Whenever I see an internet individual come out as trans, my first immediate thought is, who groomed them? Because I've seen it enough that it bothers me. But because I have this conversation, and again, like, obviously, John could just be lying. Obviously, there's always a chance for that. I'm not going to assume that. I'm going to try and just, you know, give a good faith feel, and just hope that they are being truthful, that somebody didn't, like, push them into this, that they decided to decide this for themselves. But I really do, like, egg cracking individuals. I don't hate people, I hate actions, but I actually hate egg cracking people. Like, if you come out and say that you are for, like, pushing people into that kind of nature, I legitimately hate you. Because you are pushing people to make life-altering surgeries that will harm them potentially forever if it is not done correctly. And so I hate those people. Yeah, I can't find it. I don't know where it is. We'll see John's intentions in the future. Yes. I just love how you keep calling her amalgamate, not amalgamite. Considering the one. My apologies. I just call her Mole in DMs. That's what like she told me. But yeah. Mercenary, cracking eggs isn't mental, it's pure evil. No, yeah, I agree. Again, like the fact that John came out immediately and said, no, I did this behind the scenes for myself, is really nice. It's good. That mercenary earlier for 2. Can anyone deep dive on this kid company? Hard to find. I don't know what that kid company is. You're gonna have to tell me in DMs. But again, we're gonna have to wait and see. We're gonna obviously have to wait and watch how things develop. And again, I hope for the best. I really legitimately do. 100% wish that they do. Give me one moment. There's one other thing. And this is gonna be the thing that like sucks the most for me to talk about. Because again, I'm looking at this. And John, if you do see this, I am just telling you right now, this is not what you should be sharing with the internet, all right? The relationship between you and your wife, which I will be honest right now, I have worried about, and I will be honest, seeing the coming out and then adding this note does give me some more worry. But this is not something that should be posted on the internet, because all that is going to be done is people worse than me. Sounds dumb to say, but people that are more willing to be disrespectful than me are going to come and take this and break this down and going to assume the worst shit possible and are going to say the worst shit possible. So this is not something you should have shared with the internet. Your relationship with Lucajin is not something that people should know about. I know that you guys are public figures, but there is public and private stuff, and this is private. So this was something that John posted after the stream, early in the morning. And I'm going to go ahead and read it. It says, quote, "Hey everyone, still riding the high from tonight, but I wanted to talk about something I didn't get into during the stream. Reese's side of things." So Reese is Lucajin, his wife. "She's been in my corner throughout the entire thing, but it's been challenging for her. Being in the closet and not out to many put her in a position where she was unable to talk to anyone about it and her feelings for many years." Okay. "She's been on her own journey while I've been on mine, and we want to be honest to everyone. I saw people putting labels on her that don't fit who she is. She is..." I hate these words here. "Cishet. She's into men." Just say that she is into men. So please give her some grace. Because like any life-changing event, this has its own set of challenges to navigate. I meant to talk about this during stream, but got wrapped up in the moment and didn't, and that is my fault. We're working through things together with all the love and grace we have, but it's been hurdles for both of us to navigate. I hope she can get some support in this as well, so please be patient with us while we deal with what comes next with me now being out. Thank you for all the kind words, positivity, and understanding." So again, I am going to be as charitable as possible. More charitable than I will probably give a lot of people. More charitable than I was willing to be when I first saw some of this. Because I had time to think. I had time to pray. I had time to meditate on what I wanted to say. And I'm going to tell you that this is an extremely, like, dangerous thing to say. I'm going to tell you how I see this, okay? I'm going to tell you how I see this People can tell me if I'm seeing this wrong, if I am, whatever. The way that this reads is that Lucagen, Reese, has become increasingly strained in their relationship has become increasingly strained because of John's decisions and because of John's choices. John is admitting here that Reese wants a relationship with a man, wants a relationship with somebody that is a man. And so because of that, this decision that he has decided to take, that he has taken for 4 years. I don't remember the exact amount of years that they've been together. I know that they've known each other for such a long fucking time that they might have been a couple for multiple years before a lot of people knew. But this is a decision that he has taken. And I'm sure that she will support him in this decision. But I don't expect, based off of what I'm reading here, for things to be the same. I read this thinking that the worst that could potentially happen is that there is separation in the future. And I want to lay it out right now. I don't want that. Sorry, I've got a pen in my hands. I'm using it to help me think. The way that this reads is that a potential separation could come. I don't see anything short of that based off of what I am reading. John has decided to flip from man to woman, and his wife is looking for a man in the marriage. So I don't know where this goes. Again, if you want my advice, this was one of the dumbest things that you could put on the internet, because everybody that reads between the lines is immediately going to start counting down the clock for when she takes off her ring. I hope not. I hope and fucking pray that doesn't happen. I hope and pray that there is some working out between both of you, that there is some compromise between both of you, because that's what marriages do. Marriage is compromise between both sides, and that you guys stay together for the rest of your life. But this message does not fill me with a lot of hope. And there's other factors. I'm trying to think about how much of my rat that I want to share. There's other factors. As a VTuber that pays attention to other VTubers, that pays attention to lewd VTubers, who pays attention to who Lucagen who Lucagen hangs out with. Okay? I pay attention to who she goes to conventions with, who she hangs out with. And again, I'm not going to give all of my assumptions because I don't feel like they're all fair. But when I see some of the actions that happen on both sides, it starts to paint a picture that I don't like. So I don't know. I don't know where this goes. Again, I think that if you transitioning is the best thing for you in your life, I'm happy for you. But I am also worried about the ramifications that it will have on your marriage. And again, I'm not saying that to be transphobic. I'm not saying that to, be anything. But when I see this message, when I see some of the actions I see her take on the internet, as somebody that studies other people's actions and how other people act, I don't know what else I'm supposed to go off of. And if I've got it completely wrong, I beg you, I urge you. You've already put this much out on the internet. I know I'm telling you not to put stuff on the internet, but you've put so much on the internet, you might as well continue to clarify till the end of time now. Otherwise, again, people worse than me will continue to speculate until the end of time. Like, I don't know. So, I think in the end, do what makes you happy. Cleave to your wife, because marriage is made up of two people that love each other. Obviously, as somebody that is Christian, I try to subscribe to the belief that I wish to cleave to a woman one day. And do your best to stick with her. Am I okay? No, I'm not okay. I'm not okay. Listen, it's way easy for me to put up a facade and laugh at people, call them names, because I don't know them, and it's a lot easier to point and say, I have absolutely no idea why that person made those choices. Those people are stupid. But I look at the John situation. Claire, my apologies. I'm just so used to John. I've said John for over a decade. It's going to take me a hot minute. I know. But I look at this situation. And again, I am being as best faith as possible. I could have been way worse tonight than I did. If I did not have this conversation with John, a good faith conversation, I feel like I could have been way worse because I didn't understand fully. But I'm not okay, because I have seen enough train wrecks and enough plane crashes and enough broken individuals to know the slippery, and I'm not saying this will happen. I am just saying I have seen the slippery slope. I have seen how things spiral out of control way too quickly. And I am begging the universe to be wrong. I am begging that it does not end up the way I have always seen it end up. Always. I am begging for you to be the exception to the rule. I am begging for the same day that was yesterday to be the same day tomorrow, and that nothing changes. That's it. That's it. That's really all I have to say about it, Again, I have a lot of respect for John. I think John is cool. Like a lot of their content. I'm sure that if I watch their streams, I probably won't like it. I don't know. I don't really watch people stream, period, anymore, unless they're getting in trouble or they're doing something stupid, or they're interesting to me to an extreme degree.
Case in point, chat, I had to drag Occo kicking and screaming to watch mine.
Not true. I put you on in the background. I just don't talk. But I don't know. It's really difficult for me to look at this, again, because it's really easy to point and laugh at somebody that you read that they're a sex pest on the other end of the screen, or you read that they've harmed people on the other end of the screen, and just say, man, that is a fucking retard. I've never watched any of yours. I'm sorry. Listen, guys, I'm sorry. I have no time for streams. I come home from work, I prep my own shit, I go to bed, I get up. Well, on my days off, I've got shopping, I've got videos to make, I've got things I need to prep. I help a lot of other people. I still do some life coaching in the background. I try to watch as many people as possible. It doesn't happen, I'm sorry. But yeah, this is just rough. It's rough for me. And I'm not serious. That's fair. And maybe that feeling is, again, wishing for the nostalgia of something. And if it is, I apologize. I don't wish to hold people to the nostalgia of a young octopus that didn't really know how evil the world was. But this is just my concern. Take it any way you like. That's about it. Anyway, that is going to do it for me.
Oh, you're not gonna react tonight?
Oh, we have about 20 minutes left. We don't got enough time. I think we're just gonna end it.
I thought it was what, 16 minutes?
Yeah, it's 16 minutes, but that's about an hour's worth of content right there.
Fair enough. Okay.
Thanks for your perspective. Yeah, like, listen, that is all I want to give. That's all I want to give. Again, like I said, I could have been way worse tonight, but I felt like that wasn't really fair after asking for good faith. So. And check the Azima, it's a full auto pistol, or the Zenistar, a melee, or Zenith. If you're on the 100-day choice of weapons, neither of them matter because you'll get them all eventually. I'll tell you, just pick the Zenistar. I don't know. Build up a Zenistar. Build up a Zenistar. Anyway, that's about it. That's all she wrote. That's the stream for tonight. Chat. I'll be back on Wednesday, midday for some reaction streams. I'll be back on Wednesday night for some more repo with some of the Under the Tea crew. It'll be fun.
Hi, I'll be there as well.
Kind of feels like we went on a tangent there. No, that was an entire segment that I was planning on. I didn't plan on it to be an hour long. I'm going to see if I can just raw upload it with a thumbnail and see if YouTube will like it. And if not, I will just... I'll edit it. I did swear a little bit in there, but I'll see if I can just upload it raw. If so, we'll do that, and we'll put it out into the ethosphere.
Yeah, you're streaming Wednesday, Thursdays Under the Tea, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So chat, my schedule this week is going to change very slightly. Wednesday we got repo. Here, let me change the screen so the Isaac isn't screaming at you all. Wednesday we got repo.
I'm sending you guys to permaban, by the way.
Friday we have Final Fantasy VI again. Saturday, I don't know what we're doing in the day, but that night, I am playing Baldur's Gate 3 with Cat and Malice. And then Sunday is Nightwave, Dogwave. But next week is stacked. Chock full of streams.
Always.
So, yeah, who am I going to send you all to? Let's see, who am I rating?
Oh.
Who are you rating on Twitch?
There's nobody to rate on Twitch.
The cat has a tendency to pop? Yes, so that cat. That cat will be there. We're starting a Baldur's Gate 3
I'll give you guys to Bonnie.
Playthrough. It'll be every other week because Malice wants to join and he has work some Saturdays and work not some Saturdays. So, yeah, sure, why not? We'll raid Bonnie. Anyways, chat, we will see you.
See you next week for Dogwave.
Yeah, so see you guys Wednesday for repo. And yeah,
pretty much. Bye.
All right, chat. Have a good night. Gonna give it a minute so that you guys go and then we'll end stream. Okay. Bye, chat.